And we're back. I've got SB, DJB, and Kenny Ken in the building. Big up, everyone. We've got a lot to discuss, lads, but how's everyone doing, man?
All good, all good, man, you know.
What's happening, man?
Things are not clear cut as we thought they were 24 hours ago.
What's happening?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, let's just kick off there, man. Let me share my screen. Something I did not want to happen is about to happen. We're being linked with Madueke. Like, I've offered my thoughts. Where are you lot at with it? I don't want to doubt a man before he's played for the club. I'll support him and things like that. But it's hardly goosebumps.
DG, I've got my head around it, my friend. I had my head around as soon as we was linked with this guy. I was already prepared, because this would be a typical Arsenal signing. Whether it makes sense or not, only time will tell. I can't for the life of me wonder why we're getting this guy and paying this sort of money to bring this guy to the football club. The only thing I can see, he can play on the right, he can play on the left, so he's a bit versatile. He likes to get the ball and run at the fullback. He likes to, you know, he's direct. But then I'm looking at thinking to myself, well, we've got Ranieri already at the club. Develop him. Why do you need to go and spend all this money? We've also got Martinelli at the club. Some
people don't want him at the club. It's cool. They're on the panel.
No. I mean, I understand, and I accept that we may need to sell him, and I accept that if offers come in for him, then Martinelli would be one of the ones that would go. But if you're telling me that this guy's an upgrade on Martinelli, then I'm not in that camp yet. I'm afraid, my friend.
But wait, can I just say, yeah? Sorry to interrupt you, brother, but like, I think for me, that I don't really want Madueke like that in it, yeah. But Madueke is not a bad player. I think Madueke is actually a good player, yeah. And I think he's someone that you can't really judge the signing until the end of the window. You see, like, if we do all the business that we're supposed to do, a man sign Gyokeres, man sign like the right players. Do you get what I'm saying to you? I think.
Yeah.
I think then it will be a good signing because, bro, yeah, Martinelli, cool. Man might not consider Noni better than Martinelli, cool. But, bro, he's completely different. He's left-footed. He can play on both sides. He's more of a dribbler in tight spaces than Martinelli. And obviously, you were saying about we got Ethan, but let's have it right. Ethan's not a winger. Like, Ethan is a central player. Yeah, he can play there, but he's not. He's not a winger, innit? So,
or is he not good enough to kill Ranieri's minutes out wide?
Ethan's pathway in the middle of a pitch where it's supposed to be. Do you get what I mean? When Odegaard is finished doing what he's doing and he's learnt from Odegaard, then Ethan's ready to go and step in there. Do you get what I'm saying to you? But man saying, oh, why are we spending 50 mil on Madueke? 50 mil on Madueke, bro. You have to remember, yeah, bro, Elanga's going for 45 mil, 50 mil. Like, Madueke's an England international. How much P's are we supposed to get for England international who's 23? Like, we need to
good point. Where's the
I understand what you're saying, but for me, is it okay? I mean, you mentioned Elanga. Is this guy miles ahead of Elanga in
100%? Elanga's just a speedboat.
As I said, time will tell. I could be proven wrong. But if you was to run a poll on the fan base, the majority of the fan base of Arsenal, Madueke would not have been one that you would have wanted to sign.
He wouldn't be there for me either. Like, I think he's got good ability, but I think he thinks he's better than what he is. That's why I don't want him to come.
That's actually one thing I like about him, SB. I hear you and you're right. And there's a lot of concerns allegedly around his attitude and all of these things. But I think I've seen many a player at Arsenal. You couldn't get the ball off them in a phone box, but they've got all the ability in the world. They don't necessarily believe in themselves. I wouldn't say he's average, but quote unquote average, but he believes in himself. But that being said, I want to go back to what you said, SB. I don't think you're wrong in that, this is the market, it's 50 million, etc. But when you isolate Madueke, is this the best way we're utilizing our funds? Especially because I think we all know Gyokeres is going to be expensive. I don't know where we're all at with Rodrygo. That's expensive. Eze's expensive. Do we have 50 mil to waste?
No, but do you know what it is, DG? Yeah? You're not wrong, yeah. But do you know what it is? You see, like us as Arsenal fans, man, want us to do the business in the order that we want it to be done. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Preferably, we would want a 9 first. And then we're going to want the left wing or the attacker. And then we can say, oh, yeah, look, like, oh yeah, we've done our business now, bro. Business don't work like that, bro. Unfortunately, it doesn't go like that. You know already. So this ain't a signing for me. That if do I want really Madueke? Not really. But is he shit, bro? No, he's a good player. So I think at the end of the window, that's when you can judge the signing. Like I said, if we do all the business that we need to do, like DG, if we signed Gyokeres, we signed Eze or Rodrygo, we signed Mosquera, we've got Zubamendi, we've got Norgard, bro. Signing Madueke, it's not gonna be a bad signing, bro. Do you get it? But in isolation now,
my concerns. Sorry to cut in. The only thing about signing, my concerns about signing him. Are we then still going to pursue the Rodrygo? Because I don't think we're going to do two. I don't think we're going to. I can't see us signing Rodrygo if we get this guy in, and that's the only thing where I sit. I mean, I don't know where the chat sits and Kenny on this, but I can't see Rodrygo coming in as well as this guy. I think it's either going to be one or the other. That's where I am with it.
That's fair.
I heard that.
Kenny, where are you at? You're muted, I think. Or is it just me?
No, I can't hear him.
Kenny, I think you're muted, you know?
I was mute myself all the time. The thing about Berta, what is going under a lot of people's noses is that I call him open goal Berta. It's an open goal signing in terms of the fact that, no, but you look at it, Chelsea are overloaded with wingers now. You know,
just got Shao Pedro for a bit more than this.
It's highly likely that he's going to get enough playing time. It's World Cup year. Arsenal have seen that. The Arsenal traditionally over the last couple of years, Arsenal have been looking for wingers. You know, Mikel Arteta's priority has never been a striker; it's always been a winger, especially on both flanks. You know, he wants cover for Saka, and he also wants someone who can play on the left. So, in terms of that prototype player that he's given to Berta hasn't identified, Madueke. England international as well, young, which is Arteta does like players, 23 or younger to work with and to try and develop. However, I'm with everyone, most people on the panel. Seeing when you think of players that you want to develop, Madueke was never in my thinking. So I'm not going to make a complete pork chop of myself and pretend that this is a player that I've always wanted and I always thought the club would want, because it'd be complete lies. I've seen some spectacular appraisals of Gyokeres over the last couple of days when a lot of
we're going to get into all of that.
Well, the last couple of days, a lot of people were making spectacular, like bullet points for Sesko. So shame on them. And we have memories like elephants. But in terms of Madueke, I personally am not for it, but I do. But when I think of, I can only assume, because I ain't got none of the facts, the reason why Arteta's looking at him and Arteta be persuaded is because he can play both flanks. He does that.
There's even rumours that he thinks he could cut out a future as a left winger.
People say at Chelsea he alternates on the flanks between himself and Neto, who also plays on the left. So that's probably the reason for the signing. In terms of how it affects other signings, you got to remember one thing: Eze and Madueke are not the same player. They play operate differently in different parts of the pitch. Eze, as we've seen with Crystal Palace, can sometimes operate between a number 10 and number 8, and his starting position is on the left-hand side. But people think that you always have to have like for like signings. Like if you replace one player, then the player to replace them has to play the same. No, it doesn't work like that in football. Invariably, when you do get players in, it's because you want to sort of tweak the way you play. It's because you want to evolve the way you play. Like, for instance, you look how we played under Mikel Arteta when he first came to the club. And then look how we played in 2022 when we should have got to the top 4. And then how we played when we first had the title stint. It's all night and day. He changes the style quite regularly. He settled upon a style which is basically boring to watch, which is safety first, and basically plays the opposition's hand. But who knows, maybe with the addition of certain players, he may finally play attacking football and we get the ball forward quickly. Maybe this guy's part of it. Me personally, He's not a player that I'm going to champion. But if Mick Arteta's looking to play a more sort of quicker tempo, and he is looking for players who can operate on both sides within a game, or be that option, then Berta has delivered for his manager in terms of that. Looking at it, it said England international, you know, can start games for a football club. That's probably what it is. Always identify that. Don't big Berta up as this, you know, this magic wand guy who's going to sort of get.
And Berta, we trust Kenny, man.
He's going to invert your trust. Berta's getting open goal signings. I mean, what's he done so far?
We're doing the same things we would have done regardless of it.
Yeah, that's how Arsenal operate.
But I don't think so, you know. But I don't think so, bro. I can't lie to you. I never seen Arsenal be this. I feel like we've been a bit ruthless, bro. Look at cool. Kim Kallstrom, Brzezinski, injured. We've had bare injury, man. They're just chilling on the wage budget.
He ripped up contracts and shopped in Chelsea's bin, though. SP.
No, I heard
doing
that.
that.
Listen, I heard that. All right, cool. Exclude Madueke from what you're saying, because man are gonna think that, oh yes, Madueke, so we're doing another instead. But bro, think about it. Man's got signing-ins early. But when have you ever heard us sign, man, before the window's even open? That don't happen.
Slightly hate. Yeah.
Bro,
there's been a couple examples, but it's exception rather than the rule.
We're always flirting with this person. We be flirting with them for time, and then it's a small screen for this, and We'll drag it out for ages, and then we'll sign someone else. We always do that. That's how we move. We move like little man. But now, like, I don't know. My camera's moving mad. But I don't know why that is yet. But this year, it's just like, bro, man's moving more ruthless. You get what I'm saying? Like, man's not playing games. We're signing.
Well, yeah, definitely. I agree with you in the fact that he wasn't like pandering to Thomas Partey's wage demands. So that, you know, he already dealt with Partey as well at Atletico Madrid. So that was kind of a situation where he said, no.
Even like getting contracts done early. Gabriel,
yeah,
done.
Definitely. I mean, you're right, but that's his job. But getting rid of players like Tommy Asu, again, that is something we've been called for a long time. But so far, in terms of the plays he's been getting in, Norgard, open goal signing in terms of like his availability. Kepa screams open goal. You think about it, you know, we need a number two, someone who is an architect number two. You know, he's on 100k a week, which is something that would have been a problem for Bournemouth, but certainly won't be a problem for us. So those are the kind of sort of open goal signings.
But I don't understand you as fans. Sorry to cut you off, but bro, I don't know. Like, this is the thing that gets on my nerves about Arsenal fans. Yeah, man, complain that we don't do business properly. When man's getting it done, he's getting it done. Like, bro, we signed the most expensive keeper in the world. Whether man think Kepa's cold or not, as a number two, he's cold.
That is shameless.
Bro, for 5 million. Wait, for 5
No.
million,
The other bit of what you're saying is, I agree, but the most
mad.
expensive, that's shameless.
It's mad, but it's 5 mil for a backup keeper. Cool. Like, we got that done. We needed a goalkeeper. We didn't wait. We just got it done. Neto's going, so we got another one. Jorginho left, so we signed him with Odegaard. Not expensive signing. We didn't waste big P's on that. Yeah, so we signed Odegaard to replace my man. Partey's gone, so we got Zubimendi in. So now we're at a level playing field where we was before. So we need to make sure that the squad's like feel that. So at least now, like, we can go and get the signings that we need. Like, I don't understand why people are complaining.
Frustration. It's illogical, some of it, but yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying to you? Patience. Like, it's what's the date today? The 7th, the 8th, the 9th. Like, bro, we got time. The window's just open. Like, we just have to take time. I get it. Like, everyone wants signing now, but we know it don't work like that.
Let me ask you a question, SB, as well, because I don't think you're wrong here, and I think many people are like that. You know, as the days go on, they're either going to be happy or sad, depending on what we do or what we don't do, right? But could you forgive fans for being a bit pessimistic if they were thinking about that last summer? Because we all were probably saying that based off, you know, we flirted with winning the Premier League title. We all know what we did and didn't do last summer. So, yeah.
Bro, man lived through it with them. I'm there. I'm one of them. Last summer was an edict thing. Bro, summer was an edict thing. But, bro, you can't judge people off of what they haven't done. You have to treat them for what they do. Berta wasn't here before. So I have to go off of what you've done now. What are you doing now? I ain't going to judge you off of old people's work. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Bro, that's crazy. I can't do that. I have to judge you on face value of what you're doing now. What I've seen you do now, you're moving correct, innit? That's all I can go off. As much as, yeah, it frustrates me how we move as a team because we move like idiots normally. But now, my man's coming. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. I don't know what more the fans want. Like, you want everyone like to tomorrow? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But how does Madueke? Because you said at the start, yeah, and I don't think you're wrong. But just trying to be devil's advocate, you said a lot of ifs, like if we sign this, if we do that, if we do that. I think I agree with that because what we do on top of Madueke will decide things. I think many people have their question marks about Madueke, but as DJB said, you know, if you were to prove us wrong and get a Rodrygo, get a Gyokeres, get Eze, and do all the other things, we'll say, all right, do your thing with Madueke. But as it stands, Madueke seems to be coming through the door. We don't know for Eze and all of them. How does Madueke get us closer to what City have done or what Liverpool have done? Because he's hardly a level raiser at this point. We all hope it's a masterstroke, but right now on the 9th of July, it's like, oh, even off that left-hand side, and I think Kenny Ken said it in that, you know, Eze will play in a bunch of roles. But if we just assumed he was going to play left wing and he signed for Arsenal, he's a clear upgrade on what we've got. I feel when I look at Madueke, Trossard, Martinelli, you're all a mixed bag of the same kind of player.
Of course. You're not wrong in what you're saying. But again, bro, man just have to be patient because man don't know. Now, if the window closes and we sign Madueke and that's it, bro, I'm getting mad. What do you mean? I'm going to be there with you in the trenches, bro. I'm going crazy. But right now, what can I do? I can't do nothing. I just have to sit tight and wait, innit? Do you get what I mean? That's all we can do, bro. There's no point of going crazy saying, oh, why are we not signing this person? Because let's have it right. There's only certain players that we can sign that's going to improve this team. It's not like there's an abundance of players that you're going to be able to go out and get. Like, there's only certain players. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And a lot of those certain players, most of them are going to be playing for teams that are actually very, very good, just like Arsenal level or even better. So it's not just simple where you get Eze is maybe the only anomaly of a player where you say, okay, cool, that's going to improve the level of the team and you're going to go and take him from a team that's not better than Arsenal. Everyone else that people are, let's just go and get Rodrygo. Bro, he plays for Real Madrid. He's not playing for no idiot team. He's playing for Real Madrid. Do you get what I'm saying to you? It's not like he's playing for no idiot team. So it's not simple, oh yeah, just go and get Rodrygo. Like, it's not that simple. So, like, people just need to be patient. You tell me, I don't know if I'm going wrong here or if I'm going mad. You tell me what other player, apart from Eze, that is at a team that's worse than Arsenal, that's going to come to Arsenal and improve the level just like that. There's not going to be many.
Well, I think Rodrygo would be one of them, but I mean, you know,
Real Madrid are better than
I can't. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I mean, I'm all up for Berta. I mean, when Berta came to the football club, I thought at last, because all this nonsense under Edu and Arteta in previous seasons gone by has been absolute madness. When you look at the amount of money that's gone through this club and the players that have come in that are not good enough, Fabio Vieira, Pablo Mari,
rubbish.
Tavares, Sambi Lokonga, all men like this. I mean, it's just been money wasted, just thrown at a problem to try and solve it, and it hasn't been solved. So now Berta's come in and things are moving, and that's what we was all hoping for, and that's what seems to be happening. Now you got to remember that, you know, like on the Gyokeres thing, this Gyokeres is a Berta signing. It's not an Arteta signing. He was digging his nails in for Sesko. He wanted Sesko last season. Sesko sort of fits the style that Arteta plays. That's all fallen through. So Berta's acted on Gyokeres, and hopefully, if we can deal with the petty negotiations that they're asking for, we can get it done. But as going back to this Madueke, if the window closed tomorrow, and I understand what you're saying, you know, there's still plenty of time left. However, we haven't got an abundance of money. So what I'm trying to say here is that we have to release players. Berta's job is not only to sign players, it's to get players out the door. There is no way we can continuously keep bringing in players, 55 million, 60 million, 70 million, 80 million, and not shift anyone out the door. Martinelli has to be, players like Martinelli, whether you like it or not, has to be sold to get these players in.
He's getting double figures next year, man. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry.
What business is.
You know,
and the Trossard's got to be going. We've still got Fabio Vieira's hanging around at the football club. Nelson's still at the football club. You know, all these players have got to go out the door for us to do business. And that's and I know what you're saying about time. But when sliding doors, when you got to get players out and players in and negotiations,
spinning several plates.
Suddenly July becomes August. Suddenly you're 2 weeks away from the kickoff.
Right. You're right.
And what I'm trying to say is, we should have these. I was expecting a lot of the signings to be made in June. I mean, we was linked with Zubimendi in February. This
way before that as well, DJ.
This guy was signed in February, done deal, everything, verbal negotiations, everything done. We didn't announce. We only announced him last week. So, do you know what I mean? I understand what you're saying with time, but the point of the thing is that we have to move players out the door.
I agree with you.
We can't expect to sign Rodrygos and everyone like that and keep bringing players in. We're going to have to release players.
But I also agree with you, but I disagree with you by thinking that Martinelli is the one that's got to go. Because, like, this is the thing that I don't understand, about some of our thinking, is that we want to get better, and we want to get better, but then we want our players to go, if you're talking about Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, Lokonga.
Basically, we need ceiling raisers and depth as well.
Yes, bro, we need depth. Last season, when you're looking at the bench,
sorry, can I just cut in? Because this is the bugbear one when it comes to Martinelli.
Oh, here we go.
You've gone from like saying he's an elite player. Now it's depth. Where are we going here?
Yeah, but wait,
Madrid got it.
You can't have all the money that you need to spend at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, you talk about depth, but the fact is that
you let 10 goals keep 10. You ain't done that.
Talking about Martinelli as a squad depth player rather than someone who's like an untouchable, it shows how massive his decline is. We're now keeping him as a squad player.
How?
Not really.
When he goes for about 60 or 70 million pound, where we can use some of that money up that he's got. Because all these players that we talked about. Some of the players
this is what I don't understand.
He's got an agenda against Martinelli. He hates Martinelli.
It's a fact that Martinelli has not been a player for the last 2 years. His performance has dropped, and all of a sudden we're thinking, it's Arteta's fault. Well,
can I ask you a question?
Saka has the same sort of defensive responsibilities as Martinelli, yet he's still producing these numbers. And DG is still saying Saka's world class. Well, the same thing applies to Martinelli. If you've got to do your defensive duties, you still got to produce. He hasn't produced in the last couple of years.
Can I ask you
but he's got pace though. We could utilize him.
What he's got pace? He's not effective. He's not an effective player. He hasn't been. He wasn't effective.
Liverpool,
last
Chelsea, Real Madrid.
I'm
confused. Big game player.
7 goals last season.
I didn't say he's perfect. I'm just saying he could be a squad player.
You're a Martinelli fan.
I'm a Martinelli fan.
Bro, Martinelli, I'm confused.
Martinelli is not a player. And let's not forget the manager.
It's too easy.
He's been trying to replace this guy for the last 2 years. He tried to get Modric in. You trying to tell me, and if we got Modric for £90 million, that he'll be in Martinelli's understudy?
So what?
No, we'll be talking about how shit Modric is.
No. Yeah, we know that now. The fact is that initially that player. Our manager was not completely sure about that player, and in the last couple of years, we've seen it in our own eyes. There's been a decline in his performances.
100%.
Instead of accepting that and accepting that maybe we could move away and play differently, and that he's a player that we can move on. Oh no, he's like one of the crown jewels. I don't see it.
No, we never said he's crown jewels. You said you could be a squad player. Nobody said he's a crown jewel.
I don't understand what's going on.
Get him out.
Okay, so we tell him. Then what?
Wait, can I ask you a question? Because I'm confused. You said Arsenal want to get better. We should just get Martinelli out and get 70 mil and get who?
Can I tell you what?
I know what they're paying his wages as well.
Hold on.
Can I tell you why, though?
Get who?
Can I tell you why? The simple reason is that
it's too easy.
When you have a budget, Arsenal have a budget. Like that is basically secluded for say 150 million pounds, and then you have to generate your own money in order to top up your budget. As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the players that we let go last season, they didn't touch the sides.
Brother.
They didn't touch the sides. I'll give you. Let me finish. Let me give you bullet points of those players. Smith Rowe didn't touch the sides. Nketiah didn't touch the sides. Ramsey didn't touch the sides. Martinelli is a player that is still coveted by other clubs. We need, in order to.
So if he's crap, how can he be coveted by other clubs? I don't understand.
All right.
Because he ain't got his Saudi.
We're haggling over Gyokeres. We haggled over Sesko because of the money situation. So these big names. So you think
the answer to that is sell Martinelli?
Well, of course, I'm going to say for Martinelli for footballing reasons, and the fact that from a business point of view, if Arsenal fans think that you're going to spend this money without having to, like I said, recruit this money, all I've got to say to you is PSR or FFP.
All right, cool, but that's the club's job to sort out PSR. Like, I'm focused on the football. I'm not focused on business.
All right, footballing reasons. He's not good enough.
I'm saying,
he's
good enough to be part of a 38-game squad. Come on,
you can't say
as a squad player.
Bro, you can't say Martinelli's not good enough as a squad player. No one is saying Martinelli is the best winger, left winger in the world. But as a squad player,
some people said that a year ago.
Yeah, but no, I don't know.
Jurgen Klopp knows a lot more about football than all four of us said he's talent of the century. I don't want to argue with him.
I don't know who said that, yeah? I don't know who said that, but I'm saying Martinelli as a squad player is a very, very, very good squad player. So if you bring someone in who's better than Martinelli,
play against pace off the bench,
bro, you don't want to do that. 65 minutes, you think playing 65 minutes against Eze or Rodrygo, and then Martinelli coming off the bench, you think he's rubbish. You're going crazy when the game's stretched and there's space. It's mental. It's long, bro. I wouldn't want to do that if I'm playing right back. Why would I want to do that? Martinelli is a good player.
Does he start above Madueke then? Does he start above Madueke?
Martinelli, for me, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
Right. So back to the point I make then. What's the point of signing this guy if you're gassing up Martinelli and he starts above him?
DJB, I'm with you. I don't want Madueke.
No. Because let's get real here. I mean, we're talking about spending 50-odd million on this guy here, Madueke, and yet on the next breath, I've got man telling me that Martinelli's better than him and he should be in the team and everything else. Can't have it both ways. You can't go and do business and negotiate deals for Rodrygos and Eze and buy Madueke and still have Martinelli at the club. You simply can't do it. You just can't.
I don't want Madueke.
I don't want Madueke.
So if we don't want, let's nip it then. Let's nip it. Don't buy Madueke. Keep Martinelli and go and do your deals with Eze and Rodrygo.
But again, I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm against that. I'm not opposed to that. I would probably prefer that. But I'm saying you can't judge the Madueke deal signing. You don't know why man signing.
So the problem is because the manager and Edu in the past has managed this club badly in ways of players coming in and the money they've wasted. We are now in a position where we want everyone in, but we're not prepared to sacrifice anyone going out. And that is down to years and years and years of Arteta mismanaging this club, wasting money. And now we're in a situation where we've got to now strengthen the team. We was told to trust the process and everything else. We've trusted the process. And now it looks like we're going to have to buy loads of players to strengthen the squad and get squad depth. And unfortunately, you can't do that. You can't go negotiating with Rodrygo, Real Madrid, Crystal Palace, Eze, and buy Madueke and still have Martinelli at the club. If offers come in for Martinelli, whether you like it or not, the club's going to.
We have to entertain it 100%. But his wages, I don't think that's why I think it's a non-story. Like, he's linked with Barcelona, they're not going for him. He's linked with Bayern, they're not going for him. Obviously, if you're the only way I can see 70-odd million is if Saudi come in for him. There are Brazilian players who get called up to the national team, but I think everyone knows Martinelli's probably not going to go for that, and they're the only one that's going to give him his wages. I do think naturally Martinelli is one of those on the list that might not be forced out, but if we have to make an unpopular sale, it's one of them. But I don't think Martinelli is going to go. And simultaneously, I'm just saying he could be used in a squad. Like, we're crying about depth. He could stay here. I don't want Madueke. I don't think anyone here does. All I can say with Madueke is that obviously none of us four can make the decisions at Arsenal. If he signs for us, we hope he's the best thing since sliced bread and he's amazing. I don't see how he's a level raiser, not even just the starting 11, but the squad. I don't, because if you sign Eze's better than him in all his own roles.
Do you know what man ain't thinking about as well, yeah? Like, I think, obviously, like I said before, we signed Jorginho to replace flipping... we signed Norgard to replace Jorginho. We signed Zubamendi to replace Partey, yeah? So, how do we know that this Madueke signing isn't to replace someone like Sterling, who was crap? And I'm not saying that Madueke...
Does Sterling need replacing?
No, but I'm saying to you, bro, I know there was times, yeah, where man wanted to play Sterling, but because he was so dead, you can't play him, bro. So it's to have another option, you get me? Like, man are forgetting
I hear that.
Do you know what I'm saying? Man are forgetting this. Sterling,
Slightly, I think it's the Trossard replacement. This guy.
This is what I'm saying to you, bro. We need... people forget, yeah, last season, we had no options. We need options. We don't have options. Like, I don't understand like why we want to get rid of players and do all of we want to get rid of this one, but bring in this one. Bro, we've got rid of 3 man and we brought in 3 man. We're back to square one. We need to bring in players, and yes, we need to thin out the squad with like the fringe players who we don't care about. But people that are gonna get minutes, why are you gonna get rid of them? Because Martinelli is not Sterling, he's not crap like that. He's not rubbish. Like, let's have it right. Let's not, all right, cool. Whether man think he's that good or he's not that good, he's not crap. So why are you going to get rid of someone who's a good player, who's a good squad player, just to make money and then bring in...
Money talks. Money talks. That's why I get rid of
him. Bro, you're saying money... All right, cool. Let's... All right, cool.
We're not running a business. We're running a business.
If that's the attitude, why don't we just sell Saka then? Why don't we just sell Saliba then?
Saka's untouchable, and Saka
let's sell Saliba. Let's sell Gabriel.
Martinelli
Saka's untouchable, but he's not world class.
Simple as. People just have to accept it. Martinelli does not win matches for Arsenal anymore. I don't know what the dilemma is. You know.
So what you're saying is every player in your team needs to be a starter.
No,
so let's
go. No, that's not. That's,
so
I never said that. What I said is that with the money with the budget we get is never enough, and that if you want to sort of like put the icing on top of the budget, you have to consider selling players. All big clubs do it. What's in Arsenal, one of those big clubs. Though. This is what I'm saying. What's the issue? What's the issue? I haven't said Kai Havertz. If I said Kai Havertz, would you be arguing about that?
Yes, I would. I would.
What is this? What is this fancy about Martinelli?
I don't understand.
What is it about Martinelli that people are pushing against? Not even considering that we may have to move him on in order to move our style of play on. I don't know what the issue is.
The issue. Do you want to tell you what the issue is?
What is the issue? He hasn't been playing well for the last 2 years. What's the issue? I don't get it.
The issue is last season was playing with a defensive midfielder up front. The issue is we don't have options.
So is Saka. So you're going to have the same sort of... Saka plays with the same sort of constraints, but he still delivers. Martinelli does not deliver.
Saka missed 3 months of the season because we didn't have options.
If Saka played... When Saka came back...
Even Jesus a better option than Madueke as well.
Bro, I'm not... But where's Jesus, DG? We don't...
That's not... Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, why they're the players we should be getting rid of.
When Saka gets injured...
Jesus, Nelly, Havertz, maybe even Odegaard, they're all on the list.
When Saka gets injured, man are gonna say, Saka's injured again. We're pissed now. We can't do nothing now. We're done again.
Well, I've got a question for you when you finished. Yeah,
I've got a question.
This is a question I've got for you now.
Go ahead.
When Saka was injured and we needed a leader of the team, where was your Martinelli?
Why are you saying my Martinelli?
He was injured for 3 months a season. Martinelli, did he take the baton?
Bro, are you not? It's like you're not. It's that. Wait, your agenda's so loud. Yeah, it's like you're not.
It's not agenda.
He doesn't like Martinelli.
Arsenal comes first.
Bro, your agenda's so loud. You're not hearing me.
Martinelli's on a different level to Saka.
My agenda's Arsenal.
Wait. Should we sell Odegaard? As well?
Odegaard said we've got credit in the bank.
So Martinelli's got no credit in the bank.
A little bit of offer. That's my opinion.
So Martinelli has no credit in the bank. So he has nothing in the bank.
But I don't rate Martinelli. What's the big deal?
I mean, here's a question for you. If it meant bringing in Rodrygo, would you let Martinelli be sold?
100%. If you're gonna bring it, but wait, if it meant that Rodrygo is gonna get signed, then yeah, cool. But if we're doing
There's
it
no
like
Madueke coming, Rodrygo or Martinelli. If Martinelli has to go out the door and we get Rodrygo, there's no Madueke.
It is what it is. Yeah, Rodrygo. Yeah, Martinelli's got to go then.
I'm taking Martinelli's got to go.
But Kenny's moving like Martinelli just has to. He's one of the first out the
That's what
door.
I'm saying to you. I'm not saying
what me and Kenny are trying to say, in order to get these players in, we're going to have to let players go. It's not nice. It's not nice to see some of your top players go, but that's how it works.
It's not about sentiment. I don't have no deep connection to Martinelli. I don't want him to leave the club. It is a bit sentimental. You are a little bit sentimental, really. No, my thing is, bro. Listen, I don't want Havertz to go. I don't want Martinelli to go. I don't want Saka to go. I don't want, bro. I don't. I think you're saying for depth purposes, not necessarily the player. This is what I'm saying to you. Everyone's dissing Havertz, but Havertz has been our top goal scorer for the last 2 years. Everyone's cussing him.
Damning on the club, but yeah.
Bro, I'm not saying Havertz is great. This is what I'm saying to you. People are like listening to what I'm saying and thinking that I think these players are world class. I'm not saying that. But you need depth in your team. If you're going to win anything, you need options. You can't just have 3 players and win the league, 3 strikers and win the league, 3 attackers and win the league. You can't have just 4. You need options, bro. You look at Liverpool. Liverpool won the league. Gakpo don't do it, so I bring on Diaz. Diaz don't do it, so I bring on Nunes. Nunes don't do it, Salah does it. Bro, Jota, rest in peace, he would do it. You get what I'm saying?
Do you want to keep all your players? But what we're trying to say is that, unfortunately, if we had that amount of money that everyone thinks we have, why is the Sesko deal fallen through then? If we've got all this abundance of money.
How do you know that's just down to money, though?
Well, it's wages and
this is us making assumptions, though.
I mean, we're quabbling over Gyokeres. There's a gap. We can't reach it. We're still negotiating over like 10 mil. I mean, do you know what I mean? So this is what I'm trying to say. If we have got that abundance of money, where ideally keep all our players and get all these players in, but it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. This is what we're trying to say. It's not. It's not going to happen. The club's going to be open, and they're going to listen to other clubs if they come in for Martinelli, and that's a fact. And you have to get your head around it. For me, Martinelli hasn't done enough in the last 2 years. That's not Martinelli's fault. That's the manager's fault. How can you not improve a player like Martinelli? How? He was balling out under Unai Emery, 15 goals. Man was wanted by Jurgen Klopp when he played under Unai Emery. Arteta's come and he's fallen off the end of a cliff. He's not productive. He's not effective, and he's on 100 odd grand a week to sit on the bench. That's not the way to do business.
Is this true, Guinness?
Which I could disagree, but like naturally, I don't think Martinelli should be the first through the door. But naturally, I would imagine Martinelli, maybe probably for this summer, these two, but Martinelli and Trossard, they'll listen to offers. But generally, Martinelli, Trossard, Havertz, potentially Odegaard, these lot are linked with moves away, or their futures are subject to speculation. Like I'll be interested to see. Obviously, I expect Havertz to be a key player, but I'm keen to see what the next 12 months has for Havertz. He's actually linked with German clubs.
That's what I would say, yeah. You see, like, I hear what you man are saying about getting rid of players, yeah? Bro, you see me? I'm trying to get as many people in through the door this season. Give it 12 months. Have a good run at the title.
Yeah,
try and see what we can do. And then, bro, people got 2 years left on their deal, bro. You got to go. Martinelli got 2 years. All right, cool, bro. Bye-bye. You weren't good enough. Havertz not good enough. Too much. Peace. Bye-bye. Like, bye-bye. I'm on that. Because this season, I'd rather have more than we need than less than what we need. I'm with you with that. Because we're never well stocked. Bro, we're always undercooked, bro. Always.
PSG and Madrid, we hardly had a bench. Well, much of the season.
Bro, this is what I'm saying, bro. We got little kids. We got youth team players on the bench.
We do need squad depth, 100%.
We got youth team players on the bench. We're overcooked in defence. In defence, we're fantastic. We got cover for everywhere. Yeah? But in attack, we're always undercooked. We're always just relying on 1-2 players. Like, we can't do that. We can't do that no more. We need options. I won't even mind seeing man in the stands. I'll be real. I'll be real.
Yeah, because at least we'll be well prepared. Like it's
Bro,
like
I'll
winter,
be
innit?
real.
You want to have more jackets rather than you're going out in a hoodie
I'll
and the
be real, I
temperature drops
wouldn't
you in
even
trouble.
mind having man in the stands, bro. You look at City's bench, yeah. City's bench is crazy. You look at Liverpool's bench. Liverpool's bench is crazy. People get onto Chelsea. Chelsea got bare players, bro. Like whether they're all good or
But
not.
City
they've
are
got
letting
players.
Grealish go. They paid 100 mil for.
Yeah, I hear that. But they didn't let him go. Just brought in. They didn't just bring in Doku and let him go. They let him sit on the bench for 1 year, bro. You know what? If we need you, we'll call on you. If not, sit there and wait your turn. Simple. If you're
The
good
only
enough,
other thing
play.
is,
If not,
I hear
then
what
you
you're
sit
saying,
down.
but the only thing as well, though, you've got to think of the player. Is would Martinelli be happy to see Madueke
Bro,
come in and sit on the bench?
I don't care if you're happy, bro.
I think Martinelli relishes
Well,
competition personally.
Bro, I don't care if you're happy.
Because
if you don't like it, go. If not, then pull your
that's fair
trousers
enough.
up, pull your trousers up and fight for your shirt, bro. That's it. If you don't want to fight for your shirt, sit on the bench. Simple.
Or get on the phone to your agent.
That's it, bro. That's what I'm on. I want competition. I don't want Martinelli to know that, listen, I'm a pace man, so I know that I'm going to play because I'm more direct than Trossard. And Trossard can come off the bench and impact. I want you to know
I
that,
think
bro,
Trossard's the one that's gone, if I'm honest with you this summer.
exactly. I want you to know that, listen, if I don't play good, I might sit down on the bench for the next 5 games. That's what I need. Bro, even Odegaard needs competition. I need people to know that, listen, if I'm not playing well,
That's why I want Eze.
someone else is gonna be ready to take my shirt, and I need to make sure that I'm on job every game.
Yeah, Eze starts if he comes in.
Bro,
Eze starts for me.
Eze starts on the
Do
left.
you reckon though?
Oh, Eze starts in the 10 all day long. Yeah, 100%.
No chance.
100%.
I don't know, you know.
No chance.
I think the left wing, probably. I think as the season goes on, great.
If you're going on current form after watching Odegaard last season.
Oh, yeah. The current form of Odegaard, naturally, going to get dropped in.
But again,
form, Eze starts.
But Odegaard at his best. Eze at his best,
yeah,
I'm not
I
sure.
think as footballers, yeah, as fans, yeah, sometimes like
Put one of them in the 8.
Man are just too harsh on footballers, bro. Odegaard had a shit season. Yes, 100%. We all agree with that. Bro, is Odegaard a shit player? Man are going crazy. Bro, that guy is cold. So, bro, let man marinate. If he's still shit, then yeah, cool. Do you get what I'm saying to you? But, bro, man can't just say, oh, yeah, Eze's
we
going to start
but we ain't got time to be sentimental and carry players. We ain't won a trophy in years.
Bro,
no one's carrying players.
No one's saying we need to carry Odegaard, yeah? And Odegaard shouldn't get carried. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying to you, to come in and just say, yeah, Eze starts over Odegaard is mad. I think Eze starts with Odegaard, 100%. Does he just start over him? No. Yeah. Not in my team, anyway.
Kenny, where you at? Who starts? Eze, Odegaard, where you at?
I think what's happened is that, you know, I stand where I am. I think the manager's going to start Odegaard. I think there is credit. I have to be fair. There is credit in the bank. I have to be fair and say there were injuries, but he's on notice because we have got a very, very good player. We've got an England international who potentially has come to us who can perform in those positions. He can also give us a lot more as well. That in terms of that, he can play on the left. He can play, you know, in that sort of like other areas of the pitch as well.
And Arteta loves versatility. There's your guy, Eze. Do you fit them all in?
the one for me, bro.
However,
same.
So, but that's the thing. I need to have a look at him in pre-season. I need to see if he's ready in pre-season. If he's ready in pre-season, then he's
going to need to be, man, because I think all of us might differ, but everyone needs to do well next year.
Eze has to fight for his place.
Kenny, I can't lie. I don't think pre-season matters, bro. I don't think pre-season matters, brother.
Oh, I know what you mean, but I think what's happened is that I think with Arsenal, I think it is going to matter because of the fact that if you look at how we were in, 22-23, people say pre-season doesn't matter, but
we were good in that, you know.
Yeah, we was good.
We took that into the 22-23 season when we played fantastic football. Of course, it fell away, but it gave us that springboard in order to hit the season run and go bang, 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 where we were flying.
But Ken, you see that one, yeah? You see, like, I agree with you, what you're saying, yeah? Because I think 22-23, we played some of our best football, yeah?
Yeah.
But I do feel like, bro, I think people don't understand you. You see, Martin Odegaard, he needs man who can run, like, to find people.
Yeah,
So you see,
yeah,
when Jesus was
agree with
playing up front and Jesus was lively,
He
bro,
looked lost
you
without
could see
Saka
he
as
was
well at times.
shining. Bro, and this is what I'm saying to you, bro. Think about Odegaard had Mikel Merino up front. Odegaard had Havertz up front. Bro, that's the difference. You see, if man get a striker, Gyokeres, who can run and he can go, he's got decent movement, he can, bro, it's going to be different. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Now, like, Ozil suffered that. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Ozil suffered that. You see, when you take runners out of the team, he weren't the same. But you put runners in the team, it's a different player. I feel like Odegaard is sort of like that, where he needs man on the same length as him, and like who can run and who can play like that to shine. Do you get what I mean?
And can I be honest as well, SB, as well? I think you're speaking facts here. I love Odegaard, and I don't mean this in a disingenuous way to Odegaard. I do think you've stood up to be counted, but you're not got the Saka, the Lewis Skelly, the Saliba, whether you're screaming and shouting and flying into tackles or you're leading by example. I don't think Odegaard's got that. So I think sometimes Odegaard needs to, and I know he's the captain and all of that stuff, but sometimes I think when the going gets tough, you need to pull Odegaard out. That's where I'm with DJB, with Eze. I know, fair enough. If we was watching Eze week in, week out, we might rate him a bit lower than we do, which, that naturally happens. But I just feel Eze wants it. He's got the stardust. He's got that positive chip on his shoulder. And then there's also, like, Wenger used to do it, Eze might start out wide. You've got Odegaard and Wanyeri. We're just pigeonholing all of them. Like, when these lot were on the platform, I think me, Kenny, and DJB spoke about it the last time DJB was here, is that Arteta can have his way of playing and do his thing. But whether it's in-game or changing things, sometimes we need a bit different. We have become a bit unpredictable. That's why Eze makes too much sense for me. Too much.
I was going to say, what I'd like
is one of the most important signings that we could make this summertime. For me, because he gives you that versatility, he gives you something different. He gives you competition out wide. He gives you competition centrally.
Yeah, no, but what I was going to say is this next season, what I'd like to see the manager being a bit more braver. I'd like to think there's a role for Eze and Odegaard to play in certain games together. You could perhaps put Eze in the 10 and put Odegaard 100%. In the 8. 100%. And just have Rice deep or something like that. That for me going forward has to happen. I want this manager to be a bit more braver, and I want him to like, when the chips are down in big games, I want us to be a bit more braver and be a bit more experimental and say to Odegaard, right, come out of that 10, play more central, and then man like Eze can then go in the 10. Or and the options there. That is what I want to start this. This is what I want to see this manager do. I want to see him try things like that. I don't want him to kind of replace a player with a player. See how they go, because the one thing we've lacked in this team in recent seasons is creativity in midfield. Because Odegaard,
in abundance,
going back to 22-23, we had that. But now he's dropped off. We've lost a lot of creativity in midfield. Saka's getting isolated out on the right. Men are sort of 2-3 man on him all the time. So he's finding it hard to create safe space. We need that creativity in midfield. And if you're going to bring Eze in, I'd like to see him used. I don't want this defensive passing sideways and backwards. I want us to... And Gyokeres is going to need to have that, because Gyokeres is going to be making these runs. And if the play is slowed down and it's all going walking pace, walking football, Gyokeres is going to get frustrated. Then he's going to have to come deep. He's going to have to pick the ball up from deep, and that's when it's all going to go wrong. So I'd like to think that he can play Odegaard and Eze at some point.
I would love to see that. I would
throw Wanyeri in that as well.
But DJB, do you not think though? Like, I feel like, and I'm not even making excuses for him, yeah, but. Like, I feel like also for Odegaard, he needs someone that's why I think, like, want to piggyback on the point what you're saying, like, it's good for Arsenal to have someone else who's creative in centrally, because everyone knows that he's the only creator from central areas. Do you get what I'm saying to you? There's no other threat. You take Saka at the team, no one's really creative like that apart from him. So you you can get suffocated. Now, when we got more threats, if you got Eze now, and Eze's central or he's off the left, you've got another person who's now just as creative as my man. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So now
sharing the workload.
It gives him more space. It gives other people more space. When you've only got two people that you know who's going to create in Odegaard and Saka, then it's kind of easy to nullify. Do you get what I'm saying? But when you now have Eze, and this is why I feel like he will be such an important signing, he gives you so much options, bro.
Apparently, we submitted a package of 50 million plus add-ons. Chelsea want more. They're fleecing us.
I think Eze's a really important signing. I think, I mean, I know Kenny's. I've been an admirer. I wanted Eze and Elise about 2 seasons ago. I wanted them both. But yeah, I mean, for me, he would start Eze. He would start
100%.
Because he's been bang on it. And you know, so I think we've got to find a way to get this guy in the team if we sign him. I'd hate it to see Eze on the bench week in, week out, and then Odegaard is still doing his kind of madness that he was doing last season, and Eze's just sitting there. That to me would not be right. 100%.
I think also, yeah, you know what? One of the biggest things that I want to see next season, I just want us to take the shackles off, man. I feel like we're just too rigid. We're too structured. I want to see more fluidity. I don't want us to just
off the cuff, man.
Yeah, man. I don't just want to be Saka. It's too much. Like, it's almost like too much control. Like, I understand, but
and then you have no control essentially.
No, but I want to see man take a little bit more risk in the final third. Like, don't be so shackled like Saka. I want to see you on the inside sometimes. Like, I don't want to just see you always on the getting chalk on your boots. I don't just want to see
from out to in. Yeah,
like I want you guys to be see like how we was in 22-23, and I think like having Gyokeres will kind of help that because he's more mobile than any other striker that we've had apart from Jesus. Do you get what I mean? So I think that will help massively. But that's what I want to see.
You know, another thing as well. I think Zubimendi will help with that as well because
big signing, bro.
I think although Zubimendi's replacing Thomas Partey, he's going to give us something different from Thomas Partey. Thomas gave us power alongside Declan, so that we're a very athletic midfield where he was like a breaker-upper player, good retriever, as good as Declan Rice, and he passed to a certain standards. While Zubimendi is going to, I hope Zubimendi's like Santi Cazorla, who keeps us ticking over in midfield, is our brain of our side.
Big ox, but yeah, I'm with you with that. I think that's the only level raiser we've made, Kenny, so far.
If he can run the midfield, he can get Odegaard out of harm's way and say, look, get closer to Saka, get closer to the...
Maybe they can stay further up the field as well.
And then we can move the ball a bit quicker. I think that is what Arsenal will have to do. We have to be able to marry up rather than go from one extreme to another. We went from one extreme where we played attacking football, got burnt in 22-23, and then for the first half of 23-24, we played that kind of the way we played last season. And then after Christmas, we just went, right, let's go back to power and let's just use the set pieces. And then season afterwards, he went back to his original plan, playing safety first, thou shalt not overload us, kind of football. So he's got to a bit.
Should we have went for Kudus? Yeah. I know it seems like he's going Spurs, but for the money, just because I've seen it, like surely it would have made more sense.
I'm not gonna lie. You see,
I'm just asking the questions.
I think Kudus is cold.
Yeah.
I think Kudus is bro. He's so good, bro.
Agreed.
I think it's such a waste him going to Spurs because obviously you know what man think of Spurs, but bro, I just think like from that I feel like there's other players that man could have got instead of Madueke.
100%.
Like there's other players for the P's as well. I think Kudus is,
and it's squad filler. Go spend 20 million and go find someone that can develop rather than this.
Yeah, man. I don't think like Noni's the one in it, but like I said, I ain't gonna judge the signing until the end of the window, innit? Do you get it?
Fair.
You know, to segue to your point. You know when people say like, is it a 5 or 10 out of 10 window, or 9 out of 10 window? I know this is going to be the most boringest thing you're ever going to hear, but I have to be honest to myself, true to myself. We're only going to find that in May 2026, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a hindsight thing.
hindsight's 2020, but in reality, we're only going to know how great a window is if we do get performances out of him. I.e., if whoever's up top, if he gets 15 goals plus, yeah, then you could say, yeah, that's worked out. If Zubimendi has a good season, yeah, that's worked out. And then you're playing guess, and then if the backup players come in and do a job and play enough games like Norgard, yeah, then you say that. And then the same thing with Kepa, who surely he's going to play some cup games. Surely.
I hope not, but probably. Yeah. I want to ask something finally before we get on to Gyokeres and all of that, because I feel we're doing a lot of talking about mediocre player like Madueke. Go on. Oh, it's this guy, man. What I would say, is to be fair, everyone here on this panel does not want Madueke, right? But a lot of times, all of us have probably said we need an option on the left, we need backup for Saka. If he is in theory coming in as primarily a backup for Saka, should we just allow it a bit, calm down a bit? Because if he's just back up on the right hand side, we've called for that, no?
Bro, let it run, bro. Let it run. I can't lie. Bro, I can't lie. We can't have Saka on this Django thing again, bro. We can't. He can't be Django. I'm sorry, man. I feel for the youth, bro.
This guy.
We can't have Saka on a Django thing, bro. We need to let the youth rest, man. Sometimes, bro, my man will be winning 2-3-0. My man still playing 94th minute getting subbed. Bro, let the youth rest.
He was only getting subbed when he was on a hat-trick a couple years ago.
Yeah, bro, come on, man. Let the youth rest. We can't have Django. Like, we got one left-footed, like, you on the left, Saka, and then now you can bring Madueke off the bench. Like, I hear that. Let him marinate, man. I hear it. It's not the greatest. It's not. But you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need your little brother to just, you know what I'm saying? Go and do the dishes instead of you all the time like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think he's got to find a new way for Saka. I think Saka has got to do more damage in the final. I'd like to see Saka more in the final third, trying to score more goals, because a bit like what Liverpool done with Salah. Look, we don't want you doing the defensive duties. We don't want you tracking back 24/7. We want you in the final third where you're dangerous. That's where I want Saka. I don't want him doing the donkey work, tracking back. You know, the man's just come back from a serious hamstring injury. He's going to be doing international duties left, right, and centre. You have to utilise him. You got a man managing him a lot better than what this manager's done over the years with Saka. Is Madueke a replacement? Listen, as I said at the start of the stream, I've got my head around it. As soon as this guy was linked, and the fact that he's from Chelsea, and we've got this, I don't know, we've got this kind of husband and wife thing with Chelsea. I don't know what it is. We've got this kind of relationship with Chelsea. So my head was already around Madueke weeks ago as soon as we was linked with him. For me, if he comes in and he hits the ground running,
happy as Larry.
We've got to back him because I'll be over there watching him. So I'm going to be, obviously, if he's on the field, I'm going to be supporting him. As I said, I've tried to be positive. I've said one of the good things what I've seen about him, he is direct. He is direct. You know, he will get the ball and he will try to take on his fullback. And that's the first thing he has in his mind.
But DJB,
he's no slouch.
Go on.
He's no
I
slouch.
want to ask you something.
I'm not saying, listen, before the chat gets carried
Martinelli
away, I have not once said I want Madueke, but what I'm trying to do, if the club is, if it's imminent that he's coming to the club, then you've got to look at getting your head around it and look at the positives. The positives is it's not Nelson coming off the bench for Saka. It's Madueke coming off the bench for Saka. And that's got a slightly different ring around it to me. So
it's true. You mentioned the transition though, DJB. Let me ask you, like, obviously when we've all seen Arsenal, we moved the ball far too slowly. It's not that I disagree, and Arteta might change things. But are we ever going to see that kind of gameplay from Madueke? Because we moved the ball far too slowly.
We have to, DJ. This is where this is. See, all of these signings have got away from the core nitty gritty of the problem with the football club, and the problem is with the football club is this manager is under pressure to win a trophy. All this nonsense that Ornstein come out with about, he's being backed and there's no pressure for this manager. That's nonsense. This manager is under extreme pressure. He would have had over £1 billion spent by the end of the window. He needs to produce. So if he's not prepared to look at himself in the mirror and go, right, I've got all these attacking options now. I've got Gyokeres running the lines. I've got Madueke coming on and doing, that relies on pace. I've got Saka already at the club. I've got this player at the club. If he's not prepared to change the way he plays, then we're going to be back to this discussion next season. And these players are going to fall off the end of these players are just going to fall off. You're going to see a very, very bang average Gyokeres if he doesn't play the right way. You're going to see a bang average Madueke if he doesn't play the right way. All these players will end up like Martinelli and Odegaard, loss of form. So it comes down to the manager. The manager has got to step up and get the best out of these players at the club and the players coming into the team. He has to.
DJB, can I ask you a question? You see, if we don't win the league, are you sacking Arteta?
Yeah. I didn't want him at the start. I'm shocked that he's going into another season. I'm absolutely shocked that this man's going into another season. I can't believe that he's going into this season as our manager. I really don't.
So who would you replace him with?
Simeone, Zidane. I'm just shocked that this guy's going in. But I mean, that's another thing. But what I'm trying to say is he has to tactically change. We can't play this slow walking football, slow paced football, defensive football. If you've got attacking options, you have to find a way to bury teams. Because last season we were struggling to finish teams off. We were struggling to bury teams. We kept giving these. I mean, I was watching Leicester and Southampton. All right, we got the job done in the end, but it was hard, man. It was such hard watching. A lot of games last season, I was coming out of there thinking, God, that's been hard work. That's been real hard work. That's been a tough watch. I don't want to see it next season. I want to see.
No, you're not wrong.
I want to see us absolutely killing teams off from the start, getting the job done.
100%. But then you haven't always seen him play walking football, though. You've seen him play free-flowing, fast football. So
that's what DJB is saying. He needs to get back to that or find a balance of being solid defensively, but having some life in attack. Because we all know we could talk about Rodrygo, Gyokeres, Eze. If we slap them all on the pitch now, obviously their quality will show, but it's not guaranteed they're going to be playing to their maximum.
Yeah, I don't think you can have all that attacking talent and still be moving mad. I don't think you can do that, bro.
Yeah, but if there's scars, though, isn't it? Because first and foremost, as much as we got the attacking players, if a manager's starting point is to make us difficult to beat, then he's not going to veer away from that. So it's just about we can't get the balance right. I've got an announcement for you guys as well. Just I think we should look elsewhere and not talk about Kudus, because it seems like both West Ham and Spurs are finally agreed.
Oh, West Ham are going to be absolutely.
West Ham and Spurs have finally agreed on a price for Mohamed Kudus, so he'll be playing his football.
West Ham are too stupid.
Well, but over the years,
man.
West Ham fans are going to be
West Ham and Spurs have always done business, haven't they? Spurs have always taken West Ham's best players over the years.
Yeah, it's true.
But even that, Kudus the same price as Madueke. Kudus a player that we was looking at with Ajax. Fair enough, I don't work in football. I don't know if there's reasons and whatnot, and maybe he's going to be more of a key player there, but it's not making sense, man.
But you know what?
Love for the stupid. Go on.
Do you know what, DG? Sorry to before you.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say, bro, the English. Obviously, you got to have a certain amount of homegrown players in the squad. You get me? So
I think you're getting the shit ones, though, man.
Huh?
We're getting the shit one.
Huh?
We're getting a shit one.
Yeah, bro. But how? What good ones can you get, though, bro?
Bro, just go get me a third choice keeper. That's one. Who's never gonna play. That helps your homegrown. How many homegrown players have we got?
I think you need
Saka?
8 or something like that.
Saka, Rice. I think Saliba and Martinelli actually count now. Trying to think.
I swear they're over the age of 20, 21.
No, but they were here from when they were basically kids, in it. So Saliba, Martinelli count. Saka's obviously there. Rice is there. Admittedly, I'm now scratching my head. Lewis Kelly and Wanyeri are there, but they're young. You don't really want to register them. I am scratching my head now. To be fair, you're right. Ben White.
Bro, these are the things that man's got to take into consideration, bro. Man's getting rid of, do you know what I'm saying? Sterling was one of them. Sterling's homegrown.
Sterling was one, yeah.
bro. Man, are forgetting this, bro. So it's not just
Madueke, that's a positive for Madueke.
Bro,
He's homegrown.
This is what I'm
Eze's
saying. Bro,
homegrown as well.
Eze, provided we get him with an asterisk.
You're right. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm saying to you, it's not just.
It's Gyokeres homegrown because he was in the Brighton Academy.
I hope he somehow counts. I don't think so. I don't think he'll count.
I don't think he'll count.
No, he was in the Brighton Academy.
He was at Brighton. He spent a year at Swansea. Spent a year at Coventry. I don't know if he's managed to qualify for that, but I hope so. Raya counts, like someone said in the chat. Raya counts.
Yeah, there's bare factors that go into it. So I'm not just saying this is the reason why a man signed Madueke. Bro, there's a variety of reasons. You get me? It's not just, he's coming in to take Saka's place or take Martinelli's place. You get me? He's a squad filler, bro. Like, how much you gonna play for English international who's 23 years old? How much you gonna pay for one of them? You get me one of them for less than 50 mil. You're lost.
Get me one of the good ones for 50 mil, man.
Bro, you're lost.
Yeah, that's the one in that's 60. Sorry, guys. I've just read the chat. That's the one I wanted to go for. Rodgers.
Morgan Rodgers would have been amazing. Costing an arm and a leg, but it's worth that arm and a leg.
Yeah. If we're talking Maduekes and spending money, I'd like to have gone to Rodgers.
Rodgers is not he's not a winger though, is he?
No. But Kudus, I'm surprised we didn't go in for Kudus because I'm surprised. But didn't we go in for him a couple of before we went West Ham?
That's why I'm surprised. That's why I said I'm surprised we didn't go back in. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. Maybe Spurs is more attractive to him than us. He was actually. Who did we play? Don't quote me. I think it was either Real Madrid at the Emirates or it was PSG at the Emirates. He was there. Maybe he was just getting acclimatized to North London and the Emirates in hindsight.
You know what it is though, DG. Every person, right? Every person wanted to be at that game. I mean, I saw Tam Hassan at the game. He's a Millwall fan. We were chatting after the game. Yeah, I saw the girl out of Black Panther. The girl was in Top Boy.
Shit, yeah. Latifa, right? Yeah,
she was at the game. But yeah, Tam Hassan, I think you can't really read much into it, but it's a shame. But the fact is that no player who's a predominantly left-footed right winger is going to want to really come to the club if Saka's there because they're not getting a game. It's like the situation with strikers going to Tottenham. What's the point of going to Tottenham when Harry Kane was there?
Bro, this is what I'm saying to you, bro. It's hard to get people that's just going to be happy to be a squad player. Bro, it's not easy. This is what I'm saying to you. People say,
I don't even think Madueke is cool with that. I think he genuinely thinks I'm coming to take someone's spot, which I like in theory.
I like that. But in reality,
bars on the floor.
In reality, you might have to sit down.
All three of them on the left hand side.
You might have to sit down a couple times, big man. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, I believe you. Yeah, I rate it that you believe in your ability, but bro, get people to want to fight for places and know that they're not going to be a guaranteed starter. He might not come to Arsenal being guaranteed starter. He's going to have to fight for his place, which you want players to do if they're going to come in through the door. Do you get what I'm saying to you? You don't want people to just come and think, I'm a guy.
You'll get games. You'll get games. You'll get games.
You'll get games, bro.
The Madueke.
Housekeeping DG, man. We got some housekeeping.
Right back.
Sorry as well, man. Let me read out the super chat. Appreciate you, DJB's funny, man. I think we will get back to Madueke. Arteta doesn't trust Nwaneri anymore. Last few games of the season showed us might sell Nwaneri for a profit. A shame.
I'd be very upset. That's nonsense.
I'll be very upset if Nwaneri goes.
Bro, that's nonsense. Whoever said he don't trust him, that is nonsense. Concentrate. But big up for the super chat. Same way.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with
Nwaneri. I think Nwaneri that it's a big season for him because he's got to look at his mate, his closest mate at the club, and say, "Look what he's done. This is my challenge for next season." There is a pathway. I think that's unfair to say to him, though. Yeah, but the thing is that unfortunately it is. If we're signing all these players, and you say you're getting Eze, where Nwaneri can play in the Odegaard position, and we say it's his best position. Ultimately, that's what he's going to have to do.
No, I mean, it's unfair to say to him like, look at what your mate's done. You need to go in.
I know, of course, you don't say it that way, but in reality,
I feel like obviously injuries is what.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but look what Miles has done. At the beginning of the season, we we bought what's it, Calafiori to operate. He's a centre half, but we thought right. The left back position is there for him. Plus, you've got Zinchenko. 3 years ago, everyone was ranting and raving about him because he gave us something different than Kieran Tierney. Then you got Kieran Tierney. This lad has come all the way and just kicked the door in. Rolled his sleeves up and said, "Right, that's mine." And he's now. He's the man in possession for England's left back berth for the next World Cup. Obviously, things change in a year, but the state of play is, if you were selecting England's first game in the World Cup, in the Three Nations World Cup, your left back's Marcelo Skelly. And what I'm saying is that, unfortunately, that is the example that I would.
He's definitely right, yeah, but. I feel like for me, with Ethan, bro, people I think people are not disregarding, but forgetting how well he played last season.
Yeah,
bro.
Unfortunately, see, I'm a big Ethan fan, and
crazy.
But unfortunately, now if we get the players in that we're linked with, Eze, you have to look at it from the young man's point of view as well. Because this is a talent.
Minutes are currency,
and if you're his kind of family and you're his agent, you've got to look at it is how long has he got to wait before he breaks onto the scene and get a regular at Arsenal? When he could be going elsewhere and potentially starting and improving his career, and then hopefully does get an England call up.
I don't disagree with you.
He's further down the pecking order. Because he's not gonna come in ahead of Odegaard. He's not gonna come in and get ahead of Eze. He's not gonna take Saka's place.
But then DJB, where does he go? Where does he go? Like in a team what's like challenging or up there in the league with all these players.
I understand.
He'd have to take a step down without it.
Yeah, but he don't even have to go to a team that's challenging. I mean, it could. Another way the club could improve him is to put him out on loan, for a season and then bring him back and then see how he performs and then whatever. But unfortunately, Ethan, and I've said this time and time again, it's a bit like an Emil Smith Rowe with this manager.
God forbid.
I can't see it. I don't think this manager.
But why do you think that though? I think it's hard for guys to say
because
that.
I'm going on last season.
Yeah, do you think we panic a bit too much with young players?
But I think, bro, if you look at the numbers, sorry to cut you, DJB, if you look at the numbers, as an 18-year-old, just turned 18, he made 30 appearances at Arsenal, and he scored 9 goals last season. Like when Saka came back, yes, he could have got more game time, but you look at it from the end of the season, he played more games than some senior pros. So people need to put things into perspective, and I understand. MLS has come through, and he's come and he's taken his chance, and he's been at England international. I understand that, but it's horses for courses, and unfortunately, like there isn't like where he plays, where Ethan plays is where all the money goes in football. That's unfortunate for him. That's just how it is.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think. Unfortunately, I mean, listen. I think he's a great player, and I'd love him at Arsenal. But unfortunately, he's further down the pecking order now, and for him to move his career on, he may have to look for another club where he's going to get regular first team football. Unfortunately, because he's not going to get ahead of Odegaard, he's not going to get ahead of Saka. He definitely won't get ahead of Eze if he comes in. So,
but does he need to get ahead of these players, or can he play alongside, or like, what I'm saying?
He won't be playing alongside though.
No. I mean, in a sense where like, all right, cool, you got like,
he's in the mix.
Yeah, so you get another 30 appearances.
But if you've got that much talent, let's put it to you,
on the cusp of England as well, accelerate yourself.
If you're that young, starting your career, you don't want to just be in the mix. You want to be playing football. You want to.
Been given a taste of it as well.
I understand you because look, I play football myself, and I understand.
You don't want to be in the mix.
You want to. You've got a taste of it. Like you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. You want to move.
You didn't think he was going to get a taste of it. You managed to get a taste of it this season. Pause. And now, like you want to go on and you want to establish yourself in the first team. I understand that and I get it and I fully get it. But this is where obviously you just need to understand, because sometimes leaving isn't always the way either. Do you get what I'm saying to you? It's not always the way. There's many players that have been young players, had a sniff, and then they've gone on and left, and their careers haven't propelled in the way they thought it would be. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Where like he could be in an environment where this could be the perfect environment for him to, like, there's not so much pressure for him to go and play. Like, he can just go into a team. You can be put into a team that's functioning well, that's got good players around you, that can look after you, where there's no pressure, where you can just go and shine. You can go and do your thing. Do you get what I'm saying to you? That's the type of environment I feel like he needs. But I don't think it's fair. I don't even think it was fair last season for us to be relying on Ethan. It wasn't fair on him.
Was it fair for him? Was it fair on Marino up front? Was it fair on players playing with injuries? That's why I feel sorry for the players and fans, not the manager.
They stepped up to the plate, but it was not fair on them. Ethan should be coming in to a team where, all right, cool, you know what? We've got Rodrygo, we've got Eze, we've got Odegaard, we've got Gyokeres, we've got this.
A bit like Foden at City, even though it's not the same.
There you go. All right, here, you know what? Go and do your thing. Go and shine. You know what I'm saying?
Where's he going to get the minutes to shine, though? Where's he going to get?
But that hasn't changed, though, because we was relying on Saka as a young player. Actually, Martinelli and Smith Rowe to a degree. That's something wrong with our club, man.
It's not fair, bro. Like, like you said, look at Foden, bro. Foden's just gone into City, and he's just like, he's got all these talented players around him, bro. You, man, look after it. Let the little boy go and shine. Go and shine. Go and do your thing. There's no pressure on you. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And that's what I feel like he needs. Like, there's no just rush to just, I need to play right now. Let me just get up and leave. Because, bro, you can't. Like, Arsenal's not, we're not like a little man club. Do you get what I'm saying to you? There's no guarantees that you're just going to leave and just go and do your thing and it's going to be the same. Bro, you look at someone like Sancho, yeah, for example. Sancho left. He left City, he went to Dortmund. He was shining. He done his thing, yeah. But now, like, to go and find another environment where he can go and shine, it's not so simple. He's gone to United. It ain't worked out for him. He's gone to Chelsea. It ain't worked out for him. He's gone back to Dortmund. He had a little 6 months where it was good. So Ethan's in an environment that he knows. He's in a club that love him. Fans love him. This is his home. This is where he's from. Like, to just get up and just want to just leave, it's not just that simple. Do you get what I'm saying to you? As much as, yeah, you want to play, but it's timing, innit? You're only 18, bro. You couldn't even sign longer than 2 years a year ago.
Until recently, you couldn't even train with you couldn't change with the first team.
Yeah, bro, just take your time, bro. You got time. You've got time, bro.
I think about it is, in normal circumstances, it is true. He has got the time, but then he hasn't got the time because football moves in such strange circumstances.
That's also true.
And especially a big club, because if you think about the biggest clubs in the countries, and if you want to include Man United, crack on with that, because I still think they're a massive, massive beast of a club.
They are historically.
Recently, if you look at the big clubs, the academy players, the academy. It's very rare that they get their chance. It's even rare that when they get a chance, they stay in a team. So it's one of those things where it's not abnormal for Ethan to be in that sort of situation. Personally, I think this is the best club for him. I don't want him to go. I still think the challenge is there. I still think there's a pathway to the team.
100%. You look at Curtis Jones, for example. Someone like Curtis Jones, for example, he's been at Liverpool for time. He just bided his time. You know what? And now he's in there. He's England international. Like,
yeah, definitely. But you know what? But you know another thing as well. This is the uncomfortable truth about football. The uncomfortable truth is there will be injuries. You know, the Champions League is more intense. It's not like that contrived garbage, which was the group system, where we all knew the best two teams were going to get through anyway and get the last 16. This is where every game's got something on it. So you're playing with extra intensity. You've got the League Cup where we all want to win it. Especially if you get big teams, you're going to play your best team. So it's one of those things where opportunities will arise for the guy.
Bro, he's going to play. He's going to play, bro. He's going to get games. There's no way you're going to go get 30 appearances last season and then you're going to go and get 10. Impossible. Especially with the talent that he's got. That ain't going to happen.
Fair. What are we saying for Gyokeres then, lads? Because, yeah, we've spoken about a lot of stuff apart from this, man. 1 minute it's happening, then it's not. It seems like he's the one.
DG, wait till the 1st of September. Whoever we get as a striker is going to the straight. It's going straight because that's the situation is that Arsenal, one of those sort of due diligent kind of clubs where they feel they're not going to pay anything more than their own valuation. And
I think it's done by Friday, personally.
The same as
Bro, we're
the
gonna
other
sign him,
valuation.
bro.
So, for some reason, he's looked at the Sesko thing and said, "Right, too many demands. I'm gonna waste time here. Let's go back to Gyokeres." But the same sort of thing is happening where you hope that he's going to be ready for pre-season, which is next week. You pray, and then if he's not ready for pre-season, you pray that at least he's going to be ready for the Man United game. But I think the way Arsenal do business, don't be surprised that about 10:59. So it's going to happen.
Do you not think? Can I ask you this? Go on. I want to ask you something in relation to Gyokeres. All right, everyone's ready. All right, cool. I do feel, there's been a lot of, I think many people, you could want Sesko as your first target. You could have wanted Gyokeres. I think most fans were just of the sense of just get a striker now at this point. But I do think, more the tacticals or the positive gooners, they had in their mind Sesko is the only one who fits the system, yada, yada, yada. And then you see tweets like this, where this comment has basically said, my main thing with Gyokeres is I just don't think he's clearly better than Havertz up front. Brings different things, but I simply don't see the value in buying a 9 who is no better than our current one. I am, fair enough, social media is a special place, but I am seeing this a lot. Is it false? I think it's bullshit.
Oh,
I respect his opinion, though. Not because I think he's right. It's because he's actually standing on his position. His position hasn't changed. Where I don't have respect for people is where, when we were linked to Sesko, their position was Sesko, to the extent that they ignored Gyokeres. The same people now are utilising about Gyokeres, and I don't understand that. Where you've gone from one position to another.
Can I just
position?
Can I just say, I was one of them people, that I wanted Sesko over Gyokeres, I can't lie to you. I prefer him in it, because I feel like he can do more he's got more to his game in it. But if we're getting Gyokeres, we're getting Gyokeres in it. It is what it is. But that don't mean that I'm now waxing lyrical about Gyokeres. I still feel the same way I feel about him as I did before.
But not better than Havertz up top.
Whoever's saying this needs to delete Twitter now, immediately, bro.
Because that's crazy,
bro. I don't understand how you can watch, but this is what I don't understand.
It's the general play, in it,
bro. They don't watch football with their eyes anymore. You see people,
100%.
They just look at stats. Do you get it, bro? You're not looking with your. How can you say Gyokeres is not better than Havertz as a striker? Havertz not even a striker. He don't even. Have you seen Gyokeres hit the ball? My man Ross is everything clean.
Because they're talking about general play and all that jazz, in which it doesn't really go anywhere because we need a killer.
You know what I'm saying, bro? We need someone. Yeah, you see, being a striker, people don't understand. It's more than just general play and that, but it's an
mentality as well,
bro. It's an instinct. Wanting to score is an instinct, bro. It's a mentality. You have to want. Havertz scores goals, but he don't really want to score. He's not a killer like that. You get what I'm saying?
No. And his head drops. No disrespect to Havertz, but Gyokeres, you can tell. I miss a tap in. I'm going again.
I'm going again.
Yeah.
We don't have any killers in our team. As good as I think Jesus.
Traditional 9.
Jesus is such a good footballer, but he's not a killer.
He's not a killer. He's not.
I mean, for me, any killers.
I mean, for me, if you can only go by what's in front of you, and stats don't lie. With Sesko, it would have been a plan. It would have been a project. It would have taken time, and we didn't. We haven't got that time because we need someone to come in and hit the ground running straight away. And I'm not saying Gyokeres is going to hit the ground running straight away, but if you look at the stats and you can only go by what's in front of you, and Gyokeres scores goals. He done it in the Championship. He done it in for Coventry, which is not an easy league to score goals in. Because you know there's no VAR.
People always say Portuguese League Championship. He's done it, which is close to the Prem.
I don't want to I don't want to go down the road of comparing the Portuguese League and everything else with the Premiership. That's undebatable. The Premiership is obviously a lot stronger league. I'm talking about the position as a striker. So if you look at Gyokeres and look at Sesko on paper, Gyokeres is the better player. He's the better goal scorer. I'm not saying that Sesko is not going to be a good player. I'm just saying at this moment
right now.
time. And you have to go, if you are going to go and spend 70, 80 million pound on a striker, you can only go what's in front of you.
And to aid your point, DJB, like Arsenal said, as much as we like Sesko, we're onto him and all of this, you're costing too much money. We're moving.
It's too much money. We've got to move. Exactly. It's costing too much money. And at the end of the day, we're getting Gyokeres in. If we'd have won trophies in the past, if we'd have won premierships, if we'd have won trophies, then Sesko might have been one for the future that we can develop and then sell for like 120 million in the future and make a profit out of him. But we just haven't got that time. So Gyokeres has got to come in. I just wanted a number 9. I just did not want to rock up next season seeing Havertz as my main striker, and I didn't want to see Marino as my main striker.
Yeah, utilize them in the squad, but I
wanted a striker, so I'm delighted Gyokeres is coming in, and I'm glad we haven't got into bidding wars with other teams, because that was scaring me as well. That the longer we drag it out, other teams will come in, and then the price will start going up. Then we start getting into a bidding war with Man Uniteds and Liverpools and all of that. I didn't want all that nonsense. So, let's get him in. But again, time will tell. I've seen strikers that are absolutely red hot come to the club and they're flopped.
Both of them could have banged. Both of them could have
Kenny, Lee Chapman, Franny Jeffers. Come on, they were man, I'm telling you, these were all hot properties years ago. And at the end of the day, it comes down to the system we play, how we could, because we have got to, whether you like it or not, if Gyokeres comes in, he has to play. None of this rotation with Havertz.
And we have to change things. This is like Pep when he signed Haaland. He has to change
none of this putting him out on the left and playing Havertz down the middle. People might laugh, but this is what this.
I wouldn't laugh because that could become a reality.
He done it to Aubameyang. He put Aubameyang right on the left. We all remember that nonsense. So we don't want any of this from the manager. We have to kind of semi-build the team around this guy for him to score goals. That's what we've got to do. We've got to play to his strengths. We've got to get midfield players on the ball. We've got to get the ball moving quicker, and we've got to get We've got to get Gyokeres doing what he does and scoring goals. If the tactics don't change and it's all this slow build up, and we haven't got players in the right positions providing the ammunition for this guy to score, he ain't going to score goals.
It's like what we all have been talking about on this platform. Like the tactics are one thing as well.
DG, he will quickly look very ordinary. So this magnificent goal scorer that we're all waxing over, which is rightly so, because on the evidence so far, that's what you can go on.
The mentality as well.
He will look very, very ordinary if we don't play to his strengths.
That's why I think this is Pep Guardiola. Sorry, this is Arteta's like Pep Guardiola Haaland moment in that you're gonna have to meet him. Go on.
Last question. Obviously, I'm sure you're going to ask it because we were me and DJB on Dan's show, and obviously the thing is that in terms of like the goal, what would you see as an acceptable return for goals for him? Because I said yesterday, 15.
You got to get me 15, 20.
I haven't got an issue. I haven't got to shoot 15 Premiership goals. If Saka chimes in,
no, 15's not enough, bro.
Conservative 15. I need 20. But it does rely on the tactics, and I need to know he's going to be a starter because I think people think Sesko and Gyokeres. How about might still start?
I still think that's our pathway within the league.
No, 15's not enough, bro. I'll be real.
I know, but what have you got?
And then what was Sesko going to get for you then, SB?
No. I'm just saying.
Other players, though.
I'm not saying Šeško would score more. I'm not saying that. Whoever we get, bro, whether it's Gyokeres, Šeško, Chris Wood, bro, Isak, Watkins, anyone, bro, we can't have 50. Bro, Havertz is scoring almost 15 goals. I don't want that. I need you to score 20 at least.
Yeah, bro. That's why I said
anyone who plays up front, I need at least 20 goals.
Yeah, I need
That's
20.
it.
I need 20. But I
need
also
20.
need
I
Saka
don't
to
need
chip in. I need
50.
the left wing to chip in.
I
I
think
think a big
Yeah,
part of it
I
is
need
Mikel
everyone else to still
Arteta's
chip in.
system changing. Because if
I
we
need
don't create chances and move the ball quicker and whatnot and have solutions for low
100%.
blocks and penetrate central areas and we're
100%.
more evenly sided, like we're all right-hand sided, we're just going to have new players with the same old issues.
100%.
Whether
100%.
we've all the things we spoke about today, we never learned that this season. We learned it the year before that, and maybe even the year before that. If you look at the left wing, and also where I look at Sesko and Gyokeres, and I more believe this to be the case with Sesko. I don't know if Mikel Arteta is going to make you the star, or if he's still going to persist with Kai as the number one, and you lot rotate. And I think someone made the comment about going on left wing and all that kind of stuff. And I'd say the biggest point for me is if this don't work, we need to just go again, because I've seen Ramos Højlund not work at United. They're still linked with guys.
Exactly.
Darwin Núñez not quite worked out as Liverpool thought. They're still linked with another striker. We just need to be able to move on.
You have
And
to
that's
keep
what
an
I
open,
prefer for anyone who
that's
comes
what I'm
in the
saying,
club.
DG. You have to
Press
keep an open mind, because this guy is coming from the Portuguese league.
He's
And
got
we have
something to
seen-
prove as well. Don't
we
get it
have
twisted.
seen-
Mentality.
Yeah,
He's got something to
you've
prove
got
as
keep
well.
open mind
Don't
with
get
him.
it twisted.
He will score goals. He will score goals. But I'm with Kenny. We still need to score goals from other areas, because they've dried up last
I
season.
need to see this 20 times next season.
Yeah, well,
20 plus is the
you-
dream.
I need to
15
see
is
that.
the absolute minimum for
Well,
me.
you'll see him if he gets onto the penalties, because that's something he has to take. He
Yeah,
will
no
be
more
able to
charity
take-
penalties. Give them to him.
Top strikers don't need to score penalties, man. Andy Cole never needed a penalty.
No, exactly.
It's true though, isn't
Exactly.
Can't disagree with that.
Don't get me wrong, penalties are give me goal, but I do think that, look,
We can't even score them sometimes when it matters.
By my demeanour, that the kind of the player that I would have preferred for footballing reasons, for the way that the player that I thought that would suit our play was Sesko, and I'll stand by. With this guy, I just pray that if we do get the player, and it's always a big if when it comes to Arsenal, that we do give him a platform where he can score the goals, and we do get the best
Play
out
to
of
the
him
man's
to
strengths.
towards him.
Can I ask
the
you?
man's a goal scorer.
Will that happen?
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. Like, okay, cool. Money is not issue. You got your own way, and we've signed the wingers that we want. Like, can you just tell me your starting 11? Come to Man U. When we go Man U, who's your starting 11? What's your starting 11?
So we've got Eze, Rodrygo, and Gyokeres. If this is a dream world, right?
Yeah.
All right. So for me, Raya in goal, Miles Lewis-Kelly, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Declan Rice, Zubamendi. I would still persist with Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka off the right. Do you know what? For this game, Eze, you would start for me, and Gyokeres through the middle. Just because Eze is Premier League proven. Rodrygo, you'll come on, excite the fans, and do your thing. For that game, that's what I'll go with.
Right. You know, for me, I'll go in goal with David Raya, right back Timber, left back Miles Lewis-Kelly, centre halves Saliba and Gabriel, midfield Rice, Zubamendi, Martin. For now, and then my front three is ideally I'll go up top. If it's Gyokeres, it's Gyokeres, then Saka, and then off the left. Yeah, I'm a bit conflicted really, because I understand where you're coming from for footballing reasons in terms of Eze. However, in terms of like an orthodox winger, I'm gonna have to say Rodrygo. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Only because I'd give Rodrygo his full debut at the Emirates the next week against Leeds. DJB, where you at?
I'd go the same. I'd have Rodrygo on the left, Gyokeres in the middle, and I'd put Saka. I'd go Saka. Do you know what? Yeah, I'd have to. Probably Odegaard would have to start really. Yeah, so I'm pretty much the same, but Rodrygo would have to start. Yeah, definitely.
It's a shame this is all make believe, man, and it's not like we could genuinely start this, man.
But what's going to happen? You're going to have Madueke on the left. You're going to have Gyokeres down the centre, Saka on the right, Odegaard, Zubamendi, Rice.
I reckon Havertz. I think I don't even know if Gyokeres would start. If it's up to me, Gyokeres starts week in, week out. But I cannot. I still think Arteta is going to do that foolishness. If I'm brutally honest.
This guy will try and get Havertz in the team as much as he can. Don't be surprised if Havertz don't rock up and play in a 10.
I think you're going to see Havertz a lot in midfield naturally. I think if Odegaard thinks up the place, he might play in his role.
I think Havertz is a good squad player, man. I don't know
He's
why.
all right for the squad, yeah. Not listening
Yeah,
to that.
man, not starting, bro. But because like you need players like this, man. You can't have all players that are all.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go
You
that.
need,
He's
you need
good enough
players.
to be a
Havertz,
squad
you know what
player.
people don't realize? What I like about Havertz, he does all the disgusting things. The disgusting things, like you know what I'm saying? Like
He's a
I
bastard.
don't. Yeah, I don't need
In
everyone
a
to
good
be
way.
shiny in my team, man. Just like let him be a good squad player. Like I don't want you to be starting week in, week out, but you can, like, you know what I'm saying? You got something to contribute, man.
But that's our problem, and that goes even back to when. Remember when Wenger lied and said, "Oh, Robin van Persie's going to play with Giroud." Van Persie obviously left, and Giroud was the guy. We take guys that are good facilitators or good squad players, try and make them regulars. Like I actually think it's a bit weird with Giroud at Arsenal because I think people look at him with rose tints, but equally he did stink up the place. But I think he was a good player.
Most times he stunk up the place, bro. Most times
he stunk up the place. No, but I'm saying look at how France used him and look at how Chelsea used him. They didn't rely on him necessarily. We're making you try and be a difference maker, and then we're surprised. And that's still here and today. And let's be honest, the difference with maybe Giroud wasn't the best example. We failed upwards with Havertz. Obviously, he can play as a false nine. He scored in the Champions League playing up front.
Terrible
but the plan was for him to be in midfield. We failed upwards with that. We stumbled on something and it worked. He's a squad player, and that's not a diss. We need guys like you. You know, we might the first 10 games. Gyokeres 11, we might need you.
He's not a starter. Havertz ain't a starter for me.
Yeah.
You know what it is, guys, though? If you've watched football over the last 40 years, the player who's versatile actually suffers. He's a victim of his versatility.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Havertz is a different kettle of fish where his versatility is more likely to get him a starting berth under this manager. And that's unique to the extent that the Kai Havertz
there's a reason he starts for Germany.
I do, share all your suspicions that Kai Havertz, he'll find a way for Kai Havertz to start football matches for this club.
Havertz is like a Muller.
He's an untouchable in his team. I'm convinced of it.
Havertz is a little bit like Thomas Muller, like not as good, but he's like you don't know what position he is.
Not as clinical as well.
You're not striker, and you're not like a midfielder, but you're not really a 10. You're not like you don't like. Do you know what I'm saying? He don't really have like a set position where you say, "All right, cool, this is your position." He's just an attacker.
It's weird, but I actually think Havertz is better off the ball than on the football, which is mad when you need the ball to your feet.
When you look at Havertz and Madueke, we're having the same discussion over Madueke like we did Havertz. Why the hell are we signing him? That was Havertz a year ago. That was Havertz when we signed him.
DJB, then you know what's going to happen, then, isn't it? History's going to repeat itself there because he managed to shoehorn Havertz in the team. Then if we get Madueke, that's history might repeat.
The main thing is Gyokeres and Havertz would be good together as well. You know,
I was gonna say that DG. That is so. I wouldn't want to play against that.
It would be ugly, but you could do something. But that goes back to what DJB was saying. Sometimes you might have to do them little clever things across the season.
I don't mind that.
Yeah. But as I said, this Madueke is a carbon copy of the Havertz signing. People are saying, why are we signing this, bro? Why are we signing this guy? Why are we signing this? I was shocked when we signed Havertz.
I'd rather
look. Has been our top goal scorer.
I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Why are we spending all this money on Kai Havertz? You know, and the same year later, we're doing the same with Madueke. You know what I mean? It's just madness.
It's just a shame because there's not like when I look through the team, I don't feel there's many players that I feel are shit, but you just don't know what you're getting.
That's what it is.
You don't know what you're getting from Jesus on a consistent basis. Trossard, Martinelli. To be fair, I'm being a bit disingenuous to Kai, but in terms of scoring, even though he, like SP said, the last 2 years he's been one of our more reliable goal scorers, which tells you everything. Him as well. There's too much hot and cold dons. It's the defenders or the defenders and Rice typically, and obviously Saka. You know what you're getting, and if we want to win the league, we can't have these same questions. We need answers, man.
Yes, true. But the fact is that we have to hit the ground running in whatever, regardless of the position we're playing. And I think that's the situation, is that we have to play, probably look to the future and think, you're right, we're playing two excellent teams in City and Liverpool. God bless their soul. They've lost Diogo family.
R.I.P.
In essence, when you look at both those squads, on the eye, they look slightly stronger than us. So you have to assume that we've got to be immaculate.
And they've gone the distance.
Exactly, both on the distance. Because if you look at the last 7 years. The roll call is 2 for Liverpool, 5 for City, which means we're not actually City's rivals. We're competing with them, but we're not really at the top table to be their rivals. Where
Everyone's lost the war to City, but Liverpool have won a couple wars.
Yeah,
I mean, couple battles.
If
only
it goes
two,
to plan,
only a couple. So
if it doesn't go to plan, if it goes to plan, we got to look at over 90 points to win the league. That's why we got to be immaculate.
And you can't have 14 draws for sure.
Bro, we need goals.
But you know what worries me? Do you know what worries me though, DG, as well? What worries me is that this manager obviously has not managed before, so everything that he's doing, he's kind of learning as he goes along. If you get all this talent in the team, so you've got Marino, you've got Havertz, you've got Gyokeres, you've got Rodrygo possibly, then you've got Eze, you've got all these players in the team. This manager has got no experience how to cope with those players all at once, how to accommodate all those players.
You've seen Pep do it. You better learn from him and go back in your old managerial career and learn.
What I'm trying to say is you've seen Pep do it, you've seen Klopp do it, you've seen Arne Slot do it, you've seen all these top managers do it, manage a team full of superstars. But this is all going to be new territory for this football manager. He's never experienced anything like this before in his managing career. He's never had like Eze, Odegaard, Saka, Rodrygo, Gyokeres, Havertz. He's never had all these international players in one team. So this is all going to be new territory for him.
But DJB, you know what's good,
and that's what worries me with it.
But DJB, you know what's good about that, yeah? See, like that, now you've got that, and you've got all these talent, you've got all this talent, you've got all the players, you spent the money, you've been backed, you've got the defenders, you've got the
excuses,
you've got the attackers.
No excuses.
Now,
you don't win nothing.
Now it's on to you. There's no excuses, and if you don't deliver,
some fans will find one, man.
Bro, if you don't deliver, then bro, 245 in the mill. That's how it has to be, bro. Yeah. That's how it has to be.
And the board can't hang around. If we are way off the top with all this talent, if we are way off the top come Christmas, 9-10 points behind, come Christmas, then January we got to start acting straight away.
Let's be honest, lads. If we get Champions League football, no one's gonna know.
That ain't gonna. That I don't think
that's enough anymore.
Well, the man's on 15, and again, I'm not even trying to scapegoat Arteta, but he's on 15 million a year. Are the Cronkies gonna sack that off, bring in new people, and all the other stuff that comes with it? I don't know. We all know Wenger lost his job because people stopped putting bums on seats. We all know the same with Emery. If that don't happen with Arteta.
Yeah, but it can't physically happen anyway, because how the club have got fans back is by, if you don't turn up to games, you got a season ticket, you lose your ticket next season. So fans ain't gonna dare do that. They are gonna sell their tickets on in order to maintain those tickets. But I think the situation is that the Cronkies, what I call the Cronkies, basically followers. They go where the compass sets them. If the fans, a majority of fans are behind Arteta, then Arteta stays. Simple, regardless of whether he wins the league or not. That's how the vein. Because the other day, there's fans like Aaron London. You know, you wouldn't see a bigger Arteta lover than him. I've seen all I hear from him. He's putting everything in capital letters. Yeah, I can read, mate.
To be fair, who hasn't supported him or anything? Like supporting doesn't mean you have a different opinion.
I'm not.
It's fans like him who are going to keep Arteta in the job regardless of results. He's talking about is how Arteta has elevated us.
He has, though. He has.
Big him up for that, but it's him himself has said it's about winning trophies now.
But you know what it is for me? I just think, like, obviously you've come this far, yeah, like, and like you've taken us to this place. If we don't get over the line, then bro, it's gonna crumble, and then everyone's gonna cut out, go and win trophy somewhere else, and then we're going to be back to being media again. That's what's going to happen. And
that's my biggest fear in these last 3 years. In life, yeah, listen, big up Mikel Arteta. The past, the future, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. But the present is the best thing you can do. Just live in the present moment. And the thing that harms me a little bit in the back of my head is we've had 3 good years to win something, and we ain't done that.
I just want to, Aaron London saying Cronkies ain't backed him at all. This brother's had £750 million.
715 million a year,
and by the end of the window, he would have had £1 billion. No other Arsenal football manager, or not many managers around the world, has had that sort of money to
They have
spend.
backed him. They took him when he had. We just spoken about no experience. He was on Pep Guardiola's coaching staff. We tried to get him when Emre was there. He got in the second year. They backed him. We've shattered the transfer fee. We ripped up contracts.
Yeah.
We've done bare things. And even if that was the case, clearly Mikel Arteta thinks he can succeed at Arsenal. Because why on God's green earth would you sign a new deal? So
and how many,
that's
what I'm trying
redundant.
to say is, in any walk of business, how many managers do you know get £15 million a year when they've never managed another football club in their
And he
whole
has been
entire
here for a
life?
long time. And I back Arteta.
You know,
But
so
I
come
can't
on,
lie. Backing don't mean just
let's
accepting
not
shit.
talk nonsense about he hasn't been backed. He's been backed. He's had an unsackable contract. You know, he's had £15 million a year. He's had an open checkbook of who to sign. You know,
He's a good manager. He needs to show if he's a winning manager. Now that's where the conversation shifts.
Let's not get all this. What I'm
Because I
trying
want
to
to be
say
able to
is,
defend you when they say, "Why aren't you one something, Arteta?" You need to show me.
I just think the narrative with the Cronkies probably a couple of years ago was to get us in the Champions League, was to establish us getting back into the Champions League on a regular basis and get us competing. But I think now they're starting to realise that ain't enough, because they've spent all this money, and I'm now starting to think that that's not enough. That's why they've bought Berta in. That's why no one came in that was attached to the club. Complete outsider coming into the football team, and I think it's slowly changing now.
And as much as I think Berta's a footballing man, we got to remember he comes from a financial background.
Exactly, he knows his stuff, not like the other guy that went out the door.
Ruthless.
You know what I mean? And he knows his stuff. And the thing is now, they're not silly. Owners of any football club are not silly. Yeah, they're not silly. It won't carry on if we don't win a trophy and we don't get over the line.
But DJB, yeah, I hear a lot of fans saying this. Yeah, you're right in what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Yeah, but for me, I don't feel like Arsenal just winning a trophy is enough, bro. It's not enough. Like, man can't just say, "Oh, we're gonna do all this and let's win a."
Oh no, it's not.
No, they need to win the Premier or the Champs.
Bro, that's it for me.
People are not going to be happy with the league or FA Cup.
Yes, it has to be Premier League or it has to be Champions League. If it's not nothing else, I ain't even trying to entertain that. And I'm not saying, I'll just get rid of Arteta if he wins the FA Cup. But I'm just saying, bro, the main focus has to
every year the question gets bigger.
Bro, exactly, and it's got to be the first-rate trophies. I don't care about none of these things, because 100%. To win the league, you have to be the best team. To win the cup, you don't have to be the best team to win the cup. That's
I agree.
Everything's been geared to winning apart from winning, and the players deserve it.
I agree with that. I mean,
so we got to win the Prem. I don't care about, we got to win trophies and da-da-da-da. I don't give a shit about Community Shield. I'm not saying that I don't give a shit about it. Yeah, it's nice to win, but people think, like us winning a trophy is going to be a springboard on us winning the league. No, it's not.
We're past that now, man. Just win. Everything at the club's been geared towards winning, but winning. Our dog is good win, light bulbs, all these things.
I'm not
saying they're not going to go on and win the league, are they?
No. I'm listen. The league is the first priority. Kenny Ken and me, we do disagree. I want the Champions League more than the Premiership because I've never seen us win it. But I understand the main focus of any team like Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool is to win the Premiership. That's the bread and butter, and I understand that. However, and I'm not, I don't want the manager at the club anyway, but that's another everyone knows that. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is when you've gone so long without any trophy, just get me a trophy. I just want a trophy of some sort next season.
I want it for the fans.
Because at the end of the day, these players have not experienced winning a trophy playing for Arsenal Football Club.
Exactly.
And they need a building block to go on to bigger things. So that's why the last season the Carabao Cup was important, because it gave these players a taste of success. They win
fruits for your labour.
Then they get a taste for it. Then they go on for bigger things. If these players are playing day in, day out and trusting processes and phases, and they're not winning anything, then it's not a good thing for these players. They need that feeling of winning and together. And if that means winning the Carabao Cup and then going on to bigger things, then albeit. I'm not saying the Carabao Cup is the one I want to win. Obviously, I want to win the Premiership. I want to win the Champions League. But when you've gone so many years with winning nothing, and men like Saliba and Gabriel were putting, Rice week in, week out, they're doing exactly what the manager wants from them. They're putting the hard yards in, and they're not.
Feel sorry for the players and the fans.
You have to have that. These players don't even know what it's like to go to Wembley. They haven't got a clue.
They want community shield. So
you need that. You need that foundation. You need that foundation to go on to bigger things. So if they win a Carabao Cup, FA Cup, good run in the Champions League, and we fall short of the Premiership, and we're watching brilliant football, we're going to have to settle for that.
I'm not happy with that, man.
So let me ask you like this as well, yeah.
What I'm saying is you can't disrespect those other cups. You have to take them seriously. You can't when you haven't won anything, you can't disrespect the other cups.
I don't think DJB is lying, but then based on, I think this is a comment that leaves food for thought based on what we're all saying. Big up yourself, Raj. He said, but you had a team with 115 charges win the league for 6 titles in the last 7. It's harder than ever. We've been second. We've made strides. Come on, guys. A lot of these players staying and coming due to the bus. Where you at with that?
Not good enough. Not good enough, Raj. It's something we were saying this last year. The fact is that team, we were meant to be the next cab of the ranks in the 24-25 season. Somehow, right under our nose, Liverpool came and won the league at canter. We didn't even touch the sides. To the extent that they basically took the brakes off because the league was already won in the 27th of April. That's the situation. You can talk about Man City's 150 charges, and you talk about their advantages, but the only team that can genuinely say that they're rivals is Liverpool, because Liverpool's taken 2 titles off them.
And for me, I hear all of that. I appreciate the rebuild. 3 years holding on the 4th. It's fair to ask why we can't get over the line if we're that good.
As us, though. They have the same sort of bridges and operations. Yeah, they've got.
Yeah, but Kenny, these things are not. It's not that these are illogical. They make sense. They make sense in isolation, but it's grade A gaslighting. You notice how I don't say the 5-6 year thing. It's been 3 years going into the 4th year this year, where cool, we had to rebuild when we're in this scenario now. If you're ready to waffle about how good we are defensively, the multiple goals, the set pieces, all of this stuff. And you're seeing what we've done against Madrid and all these kind of things, and you think Arteta is a good manager. It's fair to ask why we're not getting over the line. At some point,
it has to count for something. We can't be doing all of this and it's counting for nothing. It's crazy.
It's Mighty Ducks, Coach Carter thing. Then
this is
sport. I'm romantic, but at the same time, this is sport. Go on, Kenny.
I think the situation is going to come to a head where maybe not maybe of course. Clearly not now, and maybe not next season. But there's going to be a time where, if this does carry on, we are going to come to the conclusion that the manager has taken as far as he goes. He's left some very good fan bases.
There's nothing wrong. You've done well, Arteta, if it ends here today,
However, we have to look elsewhere to see that if that man could take us further. Chelsea did that in 2004 when they got Mourinho in.
Why can't people be objective?
Us. They got the Champions League 2 years in a row. They were a very good team, but Mourinho was the one who got them over the line. Fortunately, football's a bastard like that. The guy who does all the great work, someone else may have to come in and just take all the glory.
And there's nothing wrong with that. At some point, we're going to have to try something. We all want it to work, or even if you don't rate the guy, you want us to win the title next season. I would love that. There's plenty of play. Like if Madueke signs for Arsenal, I think he's shit with what we're trying to do. But I want him to be a success. But at some point, we've seen different players come in. We've seen Arteta be ruthless. At some point, you're gonna have to ask a question about the manager. That's it for me, man.
Facts.
All right, what are we doing here? We've been flirting with it. I think it's fair to ask why we're not getting over the line, but some people are just happy to be part of the journey. I always give the example. If you book a holiday, you get in a cab, you get to the airport, you check in, you get on the plane, they're telling you about safety. Eventually, you want to land in Jamaica or IB for wherever the hell you're going, right? We haven't landed yet. There's been turbulence, but we're still alive, thank the Lord.
Go back to the airport you came from and just go backyard.
Exactly. And then you're going to have to go for insurance and whatnot. It's long, man. And again, I think a lot of these people that make these comments, you can't rate Arteta as much as I do, because I actually think he's a fucking good manager. This is why I'm asking, where's the silverware? You can't have him up there and then there's always some excuse. And I think it's weird with Arsenal fans, because it's either always fault or not his fault. But the only thing that will appease us is winning shit.
Yeah, what it is, I think it depends where you get stages of your support and stages in your life where, you know, when you're enthusiastic, you know, a lot of Arsenal fans are like Ty. If you ask Ty who's the best team in the country, he'll say Arsenal. Who's the best team in Europe? Arsenal. Who's better between Real Madrid and Arsenal? Arsenal. Who's better between Real Madrid and PSG? A lot of fans are in that sort of stage. But as you evolve and as you know the game, you become a bit kind of realistic and you become more expectant.
And we're actually
you do demand success, and I do think that he's going to get a situation where even his biggest fans are going to say, you know what, yeah, I think it's time to, you know.
He's already losing them. They didn't sign his. We're not signing their boyfriend Sesko. They're already getting vexed. They're already getting pissed off.
Yeah, that's the thing. But
I think Arteta is a good man. We've got a good team.
The league is more important than Champions League for me, anyways. On the basis that
it's more realistic we win the Prem than the champs. But I want the champs, man.
I know you guys want the champs more, but in terms of like, if we do win the league,
bro.
If we do win the league against this Liverpool Man City side, no one can ever take it away from us. No one can
we need to win the league, bro. We
need to win the league. So what? Like I know DJB's stance. I know Kenny Ken's stance. Like Kenny would like if I've asked them both this, but and I know DJB's with me. But SB, you're offered the Prem or the champs next season. You can win one of them. Which one are you leaning to? I can't believe it's even taking this long to answer. No. We ain't done it.
No. Listen.
2006 is all I'll say.
Oh wait, DG, you know why? Yeah, because obviously that's a sick question. You know why? But because, bro, there's two sides to it where I'm torn, because like the league is something that, bro, we ain't won that for 20-something years. Bro.
Imagine we won the league like Liverpool last season, yeah, and imagine we won the Champions. Like we done the Madrid thing, we beat PSG, we done what PSG
bro,
did to Inter.
Bro, it's messed, it's mental. You know that, bro. But again. Bro, I never seen. Bro,
we're old enough to see us win the Prem.
Listen, I ain't missing, bro. You ever been to Zanzibar? I ain't missing nothing I ain't ever been to, bro. Like, do you get what I'm saying to you? I've never been there. I don't know what that's like. You get what I'm saying to you, and I understand that. But bro, I've seen my team. Bro, I've seen my team win something, and I'm seeing other people lift it. That should be mine. That should be.
But we were 13 minutes away from the Champions League after that great run where no one gave us. We're 13 minutes.
Yeah, you're right, but
I can't believe you, man.
But DG, guess what? That wasn't my girl, bro. I never had her before. I've never had her before, bro. Imagine you seeing, bro, other man walking around the city with your girl. Like,
I'd rather get a new one like the champs than chase her. She don't want me. Fuck that. Like,
yeah. The problem is, right? The problem is listen. Obviously, the Premiership is what you set out to win from day one. But if you was to ask me a question, I've got to say the Champions League, because I've never seen us win it. I've seen us win every single trophy.
That's what I'm saying.
We've won. I've not seen us win the Champions League, and you know, you got Nottingham Forest winning it, you got Villa winning it, you know, and
I think Chelsea do it twice and City now do it.
I'm not disagreeing with either one of you. I don't know, man.
For the history of this football club, you can't eat at the top table unless you've won the Champions League.
No, one of the biggest things not to have won it. We're like with Dynamo Kiev and that for playing teams that played in it the longest.
Cool. It's the Champions League. I hear you, because I need the little star on my top as well. Yeah, I need that. Yeah, it's the champ. Yeah, I need the champion.
And I sit above the away fans, and all I hear is champions of Europe. You'll never sing that and that. Spurs are going to be going there.
Imagine Saka, Ethan, and Miles Lewis-Skelly lifting the biggest.
Them idiots won the Europa League as well. They're talking. Yeah, I need the Champions League. Yeah, cool. I'm sorry.
That's me personally.
I'm sorry.
That's me.
How sexy the Champions League trophy looks.
I'm sorry.
Don't leave me the bus stop.
You said Premiership.
I didn't say. I didn't say anything. But guess
Bus
what?
2
He's gone all
I agree
Sesko
with
and
you.
Gyokeres, Kenny, and he's gone all
DG,
Sesko
I
and
agree with
Gyokeres.
you.
He's left me at the WW3
Hey
bus stop.
DG,
because
listen,
Park of the Own.
forget that girl. I'm gonna go and get myself a new girl. Don't worry.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Forget that.
It's the
girl.
fact it's a bit dark, but we all four of us could die today, God forbid. And we've seen our team win the Prem. Imagine not with the champs. Imagine you're on your deathbed and you haven't seen that.
I'll go get a new girl.
I was in
DG, I'm
Paris
sorry. I
in
apologize. My bad.
2006.
My bad.
I've been
No,
there.
we're here for it.
But I still think that in the context of where we've been in the last couple of years, in terms of last 3 years, we challenged for the title in 23-24. We had the heartbreak of not getting there, and then last year was a no-show. And obviously, I hear what you guys are saying, because we got to the semi-final of the Champions League, and obviously, when we get to the semi-finals, you can see Munich, you can see the Allianz Arena, and I get where you guys are coming from, but I think where we've been, I do think that, that the Premier League is what I want the most, because the simple reason is that there's no dispute in the best. And I'm not saying you can't take away what Chelsea did in 2012 and 2021. You can't take
Chelsea
away.
winning it in 2012. That was amazing. I'll be real.
Listen, you man.
They weren't the best teams in Europe. They weren't the best teams in their league.
I'm sorry.
If you win the Premiership, you're the best. You're the best.
Yeah, but then I'm the best in Europe if I win the champs.
Kenny,
Kenny,
you're my guy, right? I know where you're coming from with it.
I'm sorry.
I understand where you're coming from.
man.
However,
hey, DJB, I apologize, man. I'm gonna go and get myself a new girlfriend, man. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right, man. You can
I don't care about that girl no more, man. I need the star. That's
exactly, even the star.
Yeah, I need.
Listen, I understand where Kenny's. I understand. Listen, for me, as I said, if you was to give me a choice, obviously, if we won the Premiership, I'd be over the moon. Of course I would. But if someone said to me Champions League, I'd have to go with Champions League, because I've never seen us win it. And I was there when we lost. I was there when we lost. I was there when we lost the last Champions League, and I've never got over it. I can't even watch it.
See,
I can't even watch it. I can't even watch it. I can't talk about it. I can't watch it. It broke my heart. It absolutely broke my heart.
Remember the whole run to the final as well.
Well, we got bumped different.
Can you imagine though, guys, the pleasure you will get that Arsenal league champions in a league where Man City has spent a whole shed load of money.
I hear it.
Guardiola's manager on a slot where they spent a shed loads of money, and we beat them.
I hear it. It's proper. I'm not Kenny Ken. I'm not.
That's great, man. If I won the champs last year,
let's just win a trophy. I want to.
Kenny Ken. I'm not even disagreeing with you, but
I hear you.
What? Like I always.
Yeah, no, there's logic to it.
Me. You always think like for me, you always got to be the best team to win a league. You don't have to be the best team to win a cup competition, because, bro, you can get put on a weaker side of a draw, like.
Yeah, that is true.
Things can happen like that way. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Like, but obviously, it's true, man. Like, the Champions League is something that, like, I would love to see my club win.
Yeah, I've never seen
it. I've never seen it.
It's like working for a company and never getting a promotion. We've been putting the graft in the champs.
Sorry to interrupt you. Not only that, on the bigger picture, as for a team the size of Arsenal Football Club, with all their history and what they stand for, our actual European pedigree in Europe is horrendous.
And you've got Man United slapping our head.
Is absolutely Spurs have got a better European record than us.
Yeah.
It's not a lie.
You know, and what I'm trying to say is that has to stop. We need to be a bit. We need to do more in Europe.
No, it's a shambles.
That's one of the reasons why I want to win the Champions League, is because we can put an end to all of this.
Yeah, it's a disgrace.
You know.
It's a disgrace.
Because our history of winning league titles and FA Cups and all that is up there. But our history in Europe for a big club,
you know, I agree with you. Because I think judging by your point, obviously you've seen Nottingham Forest do it twice, you've seen Villa do it, you've seen Chelsea do it, you've seen Celtic do it, you've seen Man City do it. And obviously, you've seen Villa do it. I get
Chelsea do it twice.
And obviously, it's just as prestigious. Like you've done better than Real Madrid. You've done better than Barcelona. You've done better than these big monster clubs. I get that, and I really do get it. But I I just look at the league, man, and I just think, you know, when we won the league under George Graham for the
mate,
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I agree with everything he's saying about the league and that. But
and then obviously under Wenger, I love the status of you know when
being the best.
You know when it's the season after you won the league and they say the champions when they talk about Arsenal. I just love that. I love that.
Exactly. No, Susie.
Kenny,
I'll tell you what. Why don't we just go and do the double? Why don't we get the Premier?
By God's grace, man.
Why not? Liverpool done it a few times, isn't it?
It'd be nice, man. It'd be nice.
Can you imagine it? Oh my God. Yeah, no, it'd be great.
And that's the thing. We've just been throughout this 2 hours. We've just been imagining. It needs to become a reality in all aspects.
This season, we need to. It needs to. It needs to end in silverware, man. It has to.
Yeah.
You know what? On a serious level, if Arteta wins either the FA Cup and league, I think that it will give him another year for a lot of people who are doubters or opposers. I think, right, okay, he's shown that he's won silverware. Next season's a league is a must. I think realistically that will happen.
I'm at the point now. Just show me, I'm past all of that.
Everyone's got to shut up.
I just support the club, have my criticism and praise, and everything else is a bonus.
Do you get what I mean?
The team needs to taste success. You can't build. You can't build this team. As much as it's. You can't. You just can't keep falling short all the time. Because it's demoralising for the team. I'm talking about the players. It's demoralising for the fans. But can you imagine the fan? Can you imagine
being a
player?
It's horrible. Man. You're traveling. You're away from your family every day.
All the blood, sweat, and tears with no fruits of your labour. That's why I said I feel sorry for them at the beginning.
And eventually, what will happen?
This is why people will just end up leaving the club. Like
I was just going to say, I was just going to make that point.
Like you may have a few players that will be loyal and think, you know what, I love the club, so I want to see them win. But you also have some players that think, you know what, I need to go up a level and I need to go and challenge myself and I need to go and win. And I'm going to go to a team where I know who's going to win. They've got a history of winning.
Exactly.
They're going to keep winning. Yeah. But you see, like if we don't win nothing now, bro, it's all gonna fall down. It's gonna crumble. Everyone with any ambition is gonna cut. They're gone, and we're gonna end up being a Villa, a Newcastle fighting for top four, like it's gonna be dead, bro.
Well, let's be honest. What we was just bordering on entering into the Emirates period / now, where the top players might like the club, but they have questioned the ambition, thought we couldn't win certain things, and kept it moving. Like that's what I don't want to happen. And you can move on, but just make some history here because you're bloody good footballers.
Players will only keep faith in the manager if they feel that there's something at the end of it. And if they keep falling short and not winning trophies,
then eventually they'll down tools.
Players will
Thank God that ain't happened yet.
Yeah. And I'm talking big players because Saka's not going to be another Harry Kane like he was at Tottenham. No way. He's going to want to win trophies.
So I think
he can't keep rocking up at England and seeing all these players winning trophies and he's sitting there with nothing. It ain't gonna happen. So this is another reason why it's important this manager gets us over the line. Because it's true. That's what will happen. Players will think, look, I can't keep doing this. I can't
it's DJB. Look at Trent. He's won a lot. He's still got itchy feet and went to Real Madrid. Look at Mbappe.
And he's won things, Kenny.
Got Cristiano Ronaldo at United. This is the belly of the beast. That's why just make some history.
Bro, Van Persie's the prime example. Nasri, Fabregas, bro, it happened. Look at that team.
Yeah,
that team was the best team to not win anything. And look what happened. Nasri left, Van Persie left, Fabregas left. Everybody left, bro. And we will look how rubbish we were for. We
don't want to be in that position again. We don't want to be in that position again. No way.
So we have.
Well, at least there was some logic to that because we was just existing in the Emirates era and selling to pay off the stadium. Now we need to do certain things, even though I don't agree with it back then. But yeah, it's a shame.
I do think is that I can't wait for the football season to start, man. I'll stop all these pre-seasons. Start the football season now.
If we get the signings, Kenny. If we get,
you know what?
I'll be looking forward to it.
You know what? Even if we don't get the signings, I'm still going to demand the league and the Champions League.
Yeah, of course you do. That's what we do. Yeah,
I still think there's good players in this team.
That's what we do exactly. But I mean, if we get Gyokeres, if we get Eze, then I'll be more excited. starting the league than I was last season.
I see something.
Last season I was flat. Our window last summer was disgusting.
It was terrible. But
I was
fellas,
flat
yeah,
last season. Really flat.
I saw something the other day where they was asking like, what would you rather? Would you rather? I think it was like an A and B option. It was either Šeško and Rodrygo, or would you rather Gyokeres, Madueke, and Eze? What would you prefer?
I'll lean to unpopular one. I'll lean towards the option with the 3 players because I just think we've got more players to mix and blend.
You know what? I heard. I said this the other day. Eze or Rodrygo, and I would want Eze more than Rodrygo. And I'm not saying that because Rodrygo. I'm not. No. Hang on a minute. I'm not saying that.
You are my guy.
Hang on. I'm not saying that because Rodrygo's a bad player. Rodrygo's a fantastic player, and in an ideal world, I'd like them both. But if you was to give me a choice out of Eze and Rodrygo, I think Eze would give us more. We would have more options with Eze because you can play him in a 10. You can play him off the left. You can play him left wing. You can play him in the centre. He gives you more options.
Of course he does. That's why these two on the channel, man. We only get people that know what they're talking about here.
No ball, man.
You know what it is, right?
I echo exactly what you said. I think.
Yeah, you know what? I
think Rodrygo's overrated personally, but that's just my
opinion. I think he's a good player, but what
I think he's good.
Eze gives us more. Eze gives us a lot more.
I do think he's good, but I think he's overrated.
You know what it is that it's easy. You know what it is that I see where your position is in terms of overrated. One, he's not breaking into the mold of your team, and two, when you look at any Brazilian player, we were brought up on, Brazil, the gold shirts, donning it up in every World Cup. We look at the decline of Brazilian football, and you've got a point when you look at these players. You play Brazil, and you see the state of Brazilian football at the time. I've got no argument what you just said about Rodrygo being overrated because, I look at the Brazilian side, but in terms of Eze, well, I've always been a fan from there on, and I generally believe he gives us so much potentially in terms of like the positions he plays, the position he could take on the football pitch, and he's a match winner as well. Let's not forget he's a match winner at a very much, a small pond. And I'm sorry, Crystal Palace fans, I've got a great respect for you guys. I was cheering you all the way in the FA Cup final. However, we are a bigger club than you, and potentially, I think he will. He can sort of win matches for us as well.
Yeah, Eze's a special player, man. Proper special player, guys.
Eze's a good player, and it would
we get up to 200 likes, by the way. Come on, man, get the likes up, man. What's going on?
We need the Eze deal done. I think more importantly than I think we just, as I said, we've got to get our head around Madueke coming to the club. I think the quicker we get our heads around that and just move with it, because the
only way you accept Madueke at the football club is obviously because you're a fan and you are still going to watch Arsenal matches. You're still going to go to matches. However, if you see a plan and that the football is going to be more attacking, more direct, and more conducive to scoring goals, then you were accepting, because in a way some fans accepted Havertz because they saw the plan for him. They saw that the manager was attached to his versatility. Obviously, they weren't 100% impressed with the consistency because there was a lack of it at times, and maybe the output you could have wanted a bit more. But you've got to see the plan, and I suppose we're going to have to hope to see that with Madueke, because it looks like that's where we want to go. Because
I just see squad player at best. I hope he steals someone's shirt and he's playing out of this world, of course. But I just see squad player, and for what we said at the start, I don't have a problem with it. It depends what else you do with that.
Bro, I just don't want him to come and corrupt.
Didn't you see that when Kai Havertz? If you sort of rewind back to this time in 2023, didn't we think that about Kai Havertz, that he was going to be a squad player, because we looked at our team and we couldn't find a place for him?
But that's because we didn't have a striker. And fair enough, he took it, he ran with it, and he's done his thing. But boy,
I think the only place we had for Kai Havertz was to replace Granit Xhaka in midfield. I'm assuming.
That's what I think we tried. Didn't it, bang? I think
that was the wrong signing, man. He's listen. all I can say is thank God for Berta, because there's been some horrendous signings under this past regime. Let's be real. It's been horrendous. There's been some bad signings.
It's been terrible, man.
I mean, there's been some. I mean, Rice, Timber. There's been some good ones. Raya, the goalkeeper, I think was a good signing.
Gabriel.
But
remember, a lot of people didn't want Raya.
Jesus and Pie injuries.
Ben White.
A lot of people thought Aaron Ramsdale didn't do anything wrong.
Other than that,
we just needed to upgrade on him.
I used to call the Aaron Ramsdale supporters friends of Aaron.
I loved Ramsdale, man, but like it needed to happen. I'm cool with unpopular decisions if I can't necessarily see it.
I like Ramsdale. I think he's got ability, but his concentration is so low.
Yeah, he said he can't concentrate. Raya's just different with it. Like he just you see what Raya's on.
Here's a question then: Kepa as a backup or Ramsdale?
Ramsdale, but Ramsdale didn't want to be the side man though. It seems like Kepa's cool with that.
That's what I'm saying.
Calm, man. 5-0, let him face off, man.
If Ramsdale was on just staying here and being a mascot, essentially, great, but he wanted to play.
About Ramsdale, but
right, do you think Ramsdale's a better goalkeeper than Kepa?
Big up the chat, man. Hey, what's going on, man?
I can't lie. Last year, I think Kepa was better than him. You know, maybe that's the team and that. But
and there is a situation when it comes to Aaron, is that we're still not sure. What's the situation with Aaron? I think that there's levels in terms of like ability and what a player brings to the team with Raya. Raya helps us, I suppose, with our passing game, and his saves in the last couple of years. I mean, he's short. He's for a goalkeeper that's only 6'1". Bloody hell, he's like
jumped the reach on him. He's made a number of incredible saves for us.
Incredible saves. Yeah, he's had a few like big moments.
Hey, Kenny Ken, this is what I'm saying though. I don't know about you, yeah, but like this is where we need to like just let things marinate a little bit, because when Arteta wanted to get rid of Ramsdale and bring him right, I was like, bro, what is this guy on, bro? That was one, and then I have to say, you know what, my bad, because listen, you got it right.
Right was his first choice initially when we brought in Ramsdale. It couldn't bang at the time. Fair play.
I backed the manager. Believe it or not, despite my past, I actually backed the manager, and I was cheering him on for getting Raya in.
So I ain't seen Raya done from the halfway line. I'll say that.
I was like that. I didn't know too much about Raya, so I was a bit like that.
I backed the manager, and I'm going to give you another surprise.
And even like big up the super chat as well, like. Even when we done the Leno thing, big up Sane, because that's true. We got rid of Leno and got Ramsdale. That was proved to be right.
And there was the Emi Martinez kerfuffle as well.
Martinez, bro. So with
but he had to get one right. I mean, he signed about 5 or 6 goalkeepers under his.
Runnison was the worst.
I mean, there was someone in the chat said I reeled off 7 man going on about bad signings. Well, he's made 35 signings, and I've only picked about 3 or 4 good ones that he signed out of 35.
Hey, SB, I've got a shot for you. I've got a shot for you as well. You're going to love this one. I backed the manager over Aubameyang on the basis that you can't do that to your manager. I agreed with. I saw where Aubameyang was. Where
he also doesn't think Saka's world class. I'm just going to throw that out there.
No, we're not talking about that. All I'm saying is that the reason why I backed the manager is because I have forgiven.
Wait, what? Saka's
let me finish. I haven't forgiven certain players for Baku. I still think that there are a lot of players who basically didn't shake a leg in Baku. But in terms of like Aubameyang,
I agree with that.
In terms of like Aubameyang and what the situation was, regardless of, I understand it's your mum and mothers are precious. However, you can't. No matter how you're provoked, and I know Arteta provoked him, you still can't do that to your manager.
Come on, Kenny, it's a man's mum, man.
Kenny, that's
I understand the situation, but the manager had to win that argument.
No, I had to, because we had young, impressionable squad. If you let Aubameyang quote unquote take the piss, then other people might do whatever.
No, DG. It was much more serious than that. You're talking
100%.
What he did was much more serious than that.
And there was clearly like repeat offences. This is the one that pissed off the manager.
No, you don't listen to me. He could have got arrested for what he did, and we leave it at that. Okay.
Right. Yeah, he's not the first footballer to do some madness, man.
Wait. On to the second thing that you were saying about Saka, but I'm confused. I'm a bit perplexed.
All right. what's happened? First thing that happened is that I was asked I was asked a general question about world-class players, and I said that Liverpool got more world-class players than us. And he said, "Well, we got Saka."
We weren't having that conversation, man.
And I said, Saka. I said Saka is close. It's close.
We weren't talking about Liverpool.
Don't bring me down to world-class.
Hear me out.
I'm sure he started mentioning Palmer or something. I'll find the stream.
And I said, I said that give me another few months, and I'm there. That's
2 months.
I never said
what are you waiting for?
class.
I don't know what he's waiting for. Maybe he's gone too far to turn back.
What are you waiting for, Kenny Ken?
I don't know what I'm waiting for, but it's there. It's there. It's there.
Don't get us on the world-class path, man, because we dish out world-class like glasses of water.
Who is world-class in the Prem, Kenny?
Can I ask you?
It's there. It's there. It's there.
Before we do
It's
this,
so close.
Kenny Ken,
You know what?
can I
SP is
ask
close.
you? But wait,
I
can
can't
I
tell you
ask
how
you,
close it is.
what is world class to you? What is your definition?
No, he's gonna say trophies, man.
No, actually, I won't. No,
Zidane.
What I'm trying to say is that
Fair play.
is a player who, no matter what circumstances, will turn something on out of nothing. That's him.
Hey, that's Saka.
A person.
So what? Saka hasn't done that.
No, I said that's him.
Saka against Madrid as well, you know, by the way. But go on.
I said that's him. And then my other criteria is a person who consistently turns up every year and takes his game to another level. That's
Saka.
him.
Saka's been doing that.
Wait, 1 minute. Let me finish. That's him. And then it was a situation where I thought, right, I set him another task. Can he take us to that level where he is responsible for us lifting big trophies? And that's where I am. But all the other things.
No.
I'm
just seeing. I never knew in football goalposts float. I'm learning now.
Can I ask you a question?
I rate the player.
Can I ask you a question, brother? Let me ask you a question, brother.
So,
can I ask you a question, brother? Was Alexis Sanchez world class at Arsenal?
Alexis was cold.
Bro, man, what
He was
you
world
saying,
class at
bro?
Barca and for us.
No, that's an excellent question. That's an excellent question because
Dennis definitely world class, man.
100%.
you know what it is, right? You know what it is, SB. My problem is that I've seen players like Henry, Bergkamp, and Perez.
Yeah,
And I set those players to that standard.
exactly.
It's rightly or wrongly, that's what I
But
do.
you
Yeah, we've seen Cannavaro. By that logic, Van Dijk's not rated then.
Most player we've ever had who fits in that category for me. Alexis Sanchez was fantastic for us, but there were times when, towards the end of Alexis Sanchez's career, I thought he just didn't want to be here.
Saka gets in the best Premier League side I've seen in the league in our club. You know,
Arsenal, when he was on, was he world class? That's all I want to know.
Would Saka get into an invincible team?
yeah.
Yes.
Would
Over
Alexis Sanchez? Can I ask you a question?
Sanchez?
No.
Well, you and Perez better figure it out. Someone's got to play on the other side.
It's not better than Perez.
Listen.
You answer my question then.
We've had this definition of world class.
Yeah, but wait, hold on.
I'm used to seeing men like Zidane and Pirlo and Maldini's and all of these men.
But wait, hold on. DJB,
Come on.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. Has the standard of players gone from here to here? 100%.
The standard
But just
of
because the
football's
standard's
gone
gone
from here to
lower
here.
doesn't mean that you're not world class anymore. Like, we can't compare the world class players of old because there were so many and their ability was better. Like, we can't do that.
Still walk
like,
into
it's
a
different
team
generations
in
now.
their prime.
You have to go on just
what I'm trying to say is,
like, my
what I'm
definition
trying
of
to
world
say-
class
no,
is where you
world
like
class for less.
five
Let
in
me
your
land a
position.
bit.
Can you walk
What I'm
into
trying to say-
most teams in the world? Can you do that? Top five. That for me, that's world class, bro.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is world-class players from years ago in their prime would walk into any team now. If Saka, do you know what I mean? So Zidane,
But then I can flip that D and say, if you're a baller now, you be a baller then.
do you know? Listen, I'm not saying Saka. Listen, I don't know if I could put Saka as he's world-class for Arsenal. Put it that way. Whether he's up there with the greats, whether you put him in the list with greats, I don't think you can put him in that.
I just think he's top 5 in his position. He's done it in the champs. He's done it for England, even though England ain't won anything. He stood up there. Like, he gets better and better for us every year. Even the half-fit Saka did a madness. I understand what you lot are saying, and I don't think it's necessarily wrong. Because I was someone that I was actually since Kenny revealed a shocker, I will say the same thing. I actually used to be with you lot when people were telling me Saliba's world class, Rice is world class, Saka's world class. I used to say no, and then I deeped it. It's like it might.
Yeah, DG.
I agree with you lot. It's thrown around too much.
It's thrown around too much. You're right, but.
You know,
world class winners on the
when
right,
you hear this status
on the
world class
right,
player,
yeah.
at
Right
what time?
Who are
you
they?
know, see SB and DG in terms of like, you know, Bukayo, where did he go from?
I'll be real. This season is when I've started saying
being world class.
For me, this season is when I've said it with Saka. I'll be real. This season,
but
the one that's just gone.
What aspect of his game did you think? Right, you know what? He's in that category now.
He's like the Black Iron Robin. You can't stop him. He's creative. He's done it for England in big games like against France. He's done it everywhere.
This is a footballing question.
But wait, DG.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just giving my reasoning.
Yeah, but DG.
And I think he's genuinely top 5 in his position. There's 2 teams he don't get into, Barca and Liverpool, and it might be arguable. Right. So I'm like, I had to question my own logic. Like, well, he is then.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's only 3 wingers. 3 right wingers in the world that I can think that is a debatable. That's Olise, Salah, and Yamal. Everyone else,
big up Olise, but I need a body of work, man.
Like, do you get what I'm saying?
I'm not rating scoring against Sao Paulo over Saka yet.
If he's world class, he plays in the team, though, doesn't he? If he's world class, he's
on route. That's world class.
Pardon?
I wouldn't say he's still earning his stripes, but I think he'll be there.
I think he'll be there. I think like
should have got out of Palace a lot quicker, respectfully.
Like, I don't think it's mad to say that.
It's good debate, you know.
You've got Dembele as well, to be fair.
Yeah,
Dembele in the realm.
Yeah, Dembele, bro, 100%.
That's the industry standard, isn't it? If it was cars, that's like Bentley, Ferrari, so on and so forth. I think Saka's
like, there's not many. This is what I'm saying. There's not many right wingers that you can think, right? There's Saka's that.
He's up there as a right winger. 100%. He's
like,
up
do you get what I mean? He's not better than. He's not them better than Dembele. People are saying Due.
Would you put him?
Due's cold, but come on, man.
Due's cold, but come on, man. He just landed 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
All right, Yamal. Right, SB Yamal.
The best in the world.
Who, Lamine?
Best in the world. Best player in the world.
He's the best. He's the best in the world. He's the best in the world.
Obviously, Messi's still playing, but no one ain't watching MLS. But best player in the world in Europe, if we're going on the industry standard. I genuinely think that.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, I think that's, you know what? It's a good debate, because I do think Bukayo's gonna get there. I do think
we're converting him, boys and girls.
Do you know what's mad though?
You'll rate Martinelli next.
Hey, do you know what's mad?
No,
yeah? Do you know what's mad? Do you know what's mad,
slow
fella?
down.
Before you get onto Martinelli, yeah, do you know what's mad? I was having this conversation like 2 days ago, yeah, and I think Saka is world class, but I don't think he's got. I think the reason why he's world class here is because of his decision making. I don't think it's necessarily because of his ability, because I feel like there's people that have mad, like Due, he's got mad ability. When you look at him, his ability is bonkers, but I don't think he's got decision making that Saka would have. Do you get what I'm saying?
Would you agree with me though? Would you agree though? Because when I class a world class player, he's got every single base covered: shooting, scoring, tackling, passing, moving, whatever. There are still elements of Saka's game that he needs to learn, because he still gets in position sometimes and doesn't make the right decision sometimes. So he's still. What I'm trying to say is, when you're world class, you've covered all the bases. Whereas with me, Saka,
but don't you think the goalpost is moving that DJ?
Listen. This is not. I think Saka's absolutely fantastic.
I agree with you, though.
And I said he's up there with the top wingers at the moment. Of course he is, 100%. But there are still elements of his game that could improve and he could get better. That's what I'm saying. He could go, for me, Saka can go another level.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
So,
but that's the thing, though. I do think, people are impressed too much with the party tricks, especially in this day and age. Yeah, like obviously, there's a lot of players that are more aesthetically pleasing than Salah, but they're not doing what Salah's done or what Saka's done.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to you. It comes down to people got mad ability, but bro, It's about productivity.
Decision making, the best important thing in life.
Decision making.
Saka is better than Lamel.
Yeah, decision making is
No.
another level.
Go and watch Yamal. I'll tell you what, Aaron London, just go and watch football.
Who said Saka's better than Lamel?
Yes, I love Saka, but come on, Yamal's clear of
Who's
him.
saying this,
to you, my
hey,
guy.
bro,
When you've watched as many games as I have,
what's going on there?
Some man try to be footballers, and some people are given a God-given talent. That's Yamal.
His opinion. I don't agree with it.
Listen,
he actually has said unpopular football opinion.
Aaron, big you up every time, but bro, you need to go and drink some water.
He's allowed to have an unpopular opinion, I suppose. But
you
know what? All right. This is what I say. This is what I expect to Saka next season. 20 goals, 15 assists. In all competitions.
By God's grace.
That is mental. What kind of numbers is that? That's mental.
We need to get the Gyokeres to accelerate even more now. Then
he's capable of it because he's capable of it. That's why. He's capable of it.
Saka's capable of
and take every corner under the sun.
20 goals, 15 assists. He's capable of it. He's more than capable of it.
20 goals, like man, are just saying 20 goals is just calm. Like 20 goals is not easy, you know.
He's capable
15.
of it.
He should be banging
he's
15 every season.
That guy is capable of doing that.
That man's only 23, 24 now as well.
But the thing is, though, Kenny, this is why I said to you that he's got to play in that final third more. He's got to stop all this tracking back, defending nonsense. For him to get anywhere near them sort of numbers, this manager has to utilise him in the final third a lot better.
You know what? I'm even going to segue. Yeah. I'm even going to take your points, all your points, even further. Reason why I say that's achievable for Saka, because I know if he went to Madrid, I'm talking 25 goals, easy.
Yeah, but
50,
bro,
yeah,
but Madrid's thing is like how many that is the league as competitive as the Prem?
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying?
It must be. Well, they didn't win the league last season. They didn't win the league last season.
I'm saying to you, is the league as competitive? Like you've got
technically,
I'm not saying,
it's brilliant.
I'm just saying like the level of how many good teams are in La Liga, and I'm not saying La Liga is shit, by the way. I'm not saying that.
It's Premier League competitive.
The league is cold. The league is cold. But the Premier League, bro, you can just see like, bro, you got forget Arsenal and Liverpool, bro, and City. You got Chelsea, Villa. Yeah, you got Spain. Villa got to the didn't Villa get to the quarters of the Champions League? You got Villa. You got Newcastle. You got Brighton, Brentford. Like there's bare teams like that are.
You know what I'm saying? But you know in Spain though, if you take away Barcelona and Atletico, there's still Bilbao still going to give you a game.
Yeah, Bilbao they'll give you a game, but it's not the same. Like, do you get what I'm saying to you? Like I've seen Madrid take days off and still win at a canter. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Barcelona. You can't do that in the Prem.
Next season, I'd say 20 goals, 15 assists. Because he's capable of it. Easily.
He's probably set himself that expectation as well, if I'm honest.
I just hope this injury don't come back to haunt him.
Even Lamin's not even getting 20 goals.
I just hope, DG, I just hope this injury that he's had don't come back to haunt him. That's all I hope. I hope he stays fit.
God's grace.
Yeah, that's why.
Sorry, no way am I going to say Anthony's world class. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Will. No way.
He's trolling. He's got to be. Nobody. I don't know how Anthony's even got in the conversation.
Never once said that.
No. Anthony, who brought that in?
Yeah, I don't know who got that involved. Long may it continue him staying at Man United and joining their
I just hope Saka stays injury-free, man, and we get the best out of him.
DJB, we cannot treat him like Django. That's why we need recruitment. This is why he gets injured.
Yeah, he needs to be managed. He needs to be
managed. We need to take them off of him, man. He needs help. He needs help, man.
Because we was going to get an all-timer season from him at Arsenal until, obviously, injury struck.
Rory Elliott, I'll bite your hand off for that, Rory Elliott. I know what said Lucas Perez is world class.
Kenny, don't bite him, trolling, man.
Perez,
SLD, do better.
Kenny, is this what you're saying?
Nah. To be fair, that's one of my mods. He does the same with me. He says we said stuff. He throws a lot of shit at the wall, hoping it sticks, man.
Come on. Do you seriously believe that I said that?
No, he's chatting
shit. You're saying Saka's not world class. I don't know what anything's.
Did you seriously believe that I would say that about Lucas?
Nah. Kenny understands ball. No.
I'm joking. Nah, you wouldn't say that.
Palmer's a quality player, but I will say when I look at Palmer, when I look at Foden, and I look how Saka's judged, I think it's quite spooky.
I'm gonna
All
I think
ballers though.
Saka's better than Cole Palmer.
You can't disrespect Foden, man. You can't.
I can't, but
Foden's-
when I look at Palmer, Foden, and Saka,
what that
I've
means,
seen Foden. I've seen Palmer drag Chelsea through the mud. I've seen Saka do it when he's at left back. Foden's been a spoiled kid. He's had the best of the best at City. No real expectation.
Foden
has, bro.
Foden's
When has he done it?
Foden's
Let's
done
look at the
mad
last
things.
two England international tournament. 2 Euros either side. The World Cup, he was looked at the poster boy.
Foden's
When
done
he died,
mad things. Foden's done
he
mad
don't even
things.
get into what position is he?
Hey,
And I like
Where's the
Foden.
Man City
DG, I
fans in
don't
the
know.
chat?
DG, I don't know. DG, I don't know. I don't know.
Foden is still living off potential and having a cute little turn
Nah,
and being left foot. I don't
DG,
love Phil Foden,
DG,
but you still
DG,
treat him like a child.
Hey, DG.
Okay, then Foden or Madueke?
100% Foden. Come on, man.
Hey,
you
hold
go.
on, hold on. DG, you know
Foden's
what
a baller.
yeah? Bro,
I'm
look,
just saying he's
look,
not held to
hey,
no
hey,
standards.
DG,
Foden would
DG,
walk into most teams.
DG,
He would. I'm not
not-
disputing that, but he's the
not
only guy
last
talked
season.
about having this ability and never expected to do it.
But wait, DG, not last season, the season before that, yeah? Bro, Foden put City on his back, bro.
Nah, he didn't do that, man. I can't remember everything I said then, but I'm sure if I
Oh,
go
is
back
it-
to
you-
my
you
time.
talk about
What-
Champions
what-
League?
what-
I'm with
Okay.
you.
No,
I'm with
bro.
you, my guy.
See.
Honestly, Foden
Wait,
was
wait,
class.
All right,
what?
okay.
Bro, Foden put City on his back. What are you
City are
talking
winning
about?
4-0. Cool. He scored a hat trick to make it 7. Wow, amazing
No,
stuff
oh
from
my
Foden.
God,
Amazing.
bro.
The game's already
Hey,
done.
DG.
Wow.
DG.
They're like, wow, he'll do his little celebration.
Hey,
Wow.
no,
DG,
DG,
come
you're
on,
going
man.
mad,
He's
you're
got a
going
cute
mad,
left
you're
foot.
going
He
mad.
turns.
Foden, you
DG, you're
disrespecting
going mad, you're
Foden.
going mad, you're
I
going
think
mad.
no, I'm not. Foden's a generational talent. He's one of the most naturally gifted English players I have seen in my lifetime. But I've never seen you do generational shit.
Bro,
I've
he
never
turned
seen
up
it.
for his team
No,
2
I
seasons
think the
ago. He put them on his
23-24
back,
season,
bro.
we got 20
Where's
league
he
and
done?
cup goals. That was a great
Bro, he
season.
put City on his back.
I
2
ain't
seasons
put nothing
ago.
on his back. He
When-
played his
when-
part. He
He
ain't put
did,
nothing
he
on
did,
his
he
back,
did.
Bro,
man.
when De Bruyne was
He did.
injured,
Foden never
who
did
do
it,
you
man.
think was stepping up, bro?
He's a spoiled kid, man. He gets to do all
Nah.
these great things.
DG, you're
Saka's
wrong,
out
mate.
here playing with shit players. No. And Foden's
DG.
25.
Yeah, but
We should be.
DG, man,
We've got World Cup next year. We should be talking about Foden in our strongest 11, and we will. But in your heart, you know it's not that. We all know
but
it's
you know-
not that.
the thing with Foden,
I love
right, don't get
Foden.
me
He's
wrong,
quality.
that season, but that season in 23-24 when he scored 20 league and cup goals, you've got to take notice of that. Let's not forget
So
the last midfielder.
he's been there 16, 17 years of age. He's 25,
All right,
and we're talking about one season.
Don't get me wrong, though. When you talk
Generational.
about Man City midfielders, the only Man City midfielder that I've only ever respected is Yaya Toure. I don't respect
What?
any of them.
What?
That's
let me
hard.
tell
That's
you,
hard.
that's
That's
all
hard.
right.
That's hard.
You know what I'm talking about, Yaya Toure? Right, you
Hey,
got
And I
Yaya
do have
Toure.
an agenda
20
against
goals.
Foden.
Hey, Kenny,
SG, 2014 season. Let me finish. 2014 season, 20 league premiership goals from a midfielder in 2014. You look at where Man City were. Yes, they had money, but the guy that took them that level, who took them to that level of winning things, Yaya Toure, winner in the FA Cup final in
Hey, now, Kenny, you going mad.
2012, he's the one who got him to that league title. In 2020, he scored 20 league goals from midfield. Let's not forget, Liverpool and Arsenal were leading the league all season. Man City stole that title because of Yaya Toure's goals.
Oh,
No,
great.
I'm
He's
not-
got assists against
I'm
Sheffield,
not
Fulham, and
disagreeing
Newcastle. Scored against United. Wow, Eddie Nketiah has done that. Bournemouth. Wow, oh my God. Spurs, Eddie Nketiah has done that.
What's this?
Wow, I'm looking at this season you lot are talking about. I'm a bit shameless because I skipped past the Champions League. Marino scored against Real Madrid. I'm not rating that.
Wait, hold on. Let me see DG. Go on. Run it. Let me see.
Martinelli scored against Real Madrid, and you lot don't rate
let's
him.
just keep it Foden. Let's keep it Foden.
I'm just saying. Wow, 3 assists against Newcastle, big them up. Sheffield United and Fulham scored against Forest. Wow, United. I've seen Eddie do that. Bournemouth. Wow, Spurs. Wow, Palace assist. Great. Everton. Wow, 2 again against Sheffield United. Scumbag in these goals. Hat trick against Brentford. Fair play, but again, it's not that. One good game. Madueke got a hat trick last season. Assist against Burnley, amazing. 2 against United in the derby, great. Packed Villa when they were probably winning the game already. Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing stuff. This is amazing.
Wait, hold on. You know why you're not putting. You know why you're not.
When it doesn't matter.
You're not taking in the score, bro. He scored the winner against Bournemouth. That's 3 points, bro.
Yeah, that's great. Saka's done that bit. Palmer's done that bit.
Yeah, but I'm
They've
saying
done it for the country.
Put them into context, though, bro. Don't just say, "I scored 2." Wow, Like, do you know what I'm saying? Put them in context, bro.
Well, no, my point being, Foden is the only generational guy not expected to do generational shit. And I rate Foden as high as you lot. I just like equality. I know you could put Saka in a shit Arsenal side. Forget when we've been in this talking about Premier Leagues and stuff, when we've been properly in the doghouse, yeah. And Palmer when Chelsea have been shit. I don't know if Foden can put the team on the back. It's great when you're around these fantastic players, Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland's there, and you don't have to do nothing. He's not a key player for the country. We were talking about putting Grealish there, and I love Foden. I think he should be a key player of the country. Are you a centre mid? Are you a 10? Are you a right winger?
PSG semi-final. Saka, step up. Come on.
Great. One game Saka didn't. Half it Saka lobbed the keeper.
Yeah,
after they
Bro, listen.
Saka scored against PSG this season as well in the league phase.
Don't turn this into is Saka better than Foden, because I don't even think they're comparable. Like
Palmer, Bellingham, Saka, bro, they're all more important for the country than Foden.
Bro, they're not even. I'm not even comparing.
But he's got a cute tattoo here, and he's called Stop Port Iniesta.
You started this, DG. You did this.
I just don't. I just think there's so much glazing for Foden, and I don't see anybody have expectations on the floor and then gas up anything. It's cool. He's got a Cruyff turn. Great stuff. He's amazing.
Yes, man. I did you again, man.
No, but it genuinely is amazing.
You don't play in a
Sorry. Palmer's been in the scene 2 minutes and he's already doing better than Foden.
Foden's a player.
No, I'm not saying he's not. You're saying he's only got talent, all that stuff.
But then he's a generational talent, bro. Concentrate.
He is. I'm just saying the goalposts move. He's rated for doing bullshit. And this is what, and again, on a serious note, nothing away from this. 27 goals, 13 assists. I ain't got a leg to stand on in that regard. But really, okay, that was great. You lot said he's got to do it. You know, people are telling me you need a case study and all of this stuff.
This season he was rubbish.
Tired. This was last year. Tired. Let's go back the year before that.
No, wait. Before you do that, that season wasn't rubbish.
Didn't we say
how many goals?
That season he got like 20 odd. I'll give him that. Wow. And then, to be fair, 11's quite good Foden. This is why I think you're a quality player. But let's see the goals. All right, you got a hat trick. All right, cool. This might even be the same year we looked at. Yeah, but he's not really doing nothing. He's played 319 times for Manchester City. He won a bunch of stuff. 100 goals, 192 appearances. You're not doing better than Saka. You're not doing better than Palmer. You're not held in high regard. There should be a goal in class.
DG, bro, he's on 100 club. What is it, 100 Prem goals or just 100 goals?
He's never got 100. 100 for City, 61 in the Prem.
100 for City, bro. That's good stuff. He's scoring 1 in 3, bro.
Yeah, because you're going to play a bunch of League Cup games and all of that. Amazing stuff. You're going to, EFL Cup, you're going to do that. FA Cup again, I don't know, Leighton Orient.
DG, all right, you can, if you want to go down that road and saying the guy's playing a great team and of course he's going to cook. The fact is, he's still doing it and he's still.
My point only is why is the goalpost move for Foden and Saka and Palmer not affording?
Grealish not cooking in this team then?
Huh?
Why is Grealish?
I don't know. You have to talk to Grealish. 100 million quid. You got to talk to a City fan. I don't know about Grealish. I don't know.
DG, do you want to be honest? And you're going to hate me for this. Unfortunately, when Foden goes into his living room, he's going to see medals. Sorry,
you should be doing that. You've been at City again. You're a generational talent. I personally think City should give you more of an opportunity.
But you can't take.
But so can Scott Carson. So where are we going with that?
You can't take away from the fact. Whatever you say about Son, you can't take away from the fact that he's gone into a team that is built for buying the best of the best, and he's made that team his own. He deserves credit for that.
Foden's made to his own.
He deserves credit for that as well. And to
be he's made Foden his own. The minute Kevin De Bruyne falls off, Gundogan's looking mad. Foden ain't doing nothing. They're falling off a cliff. I know Saka wouldn't go out like that. I know Saka wouldn't.
I hear you, but the fact is the guy's still a quality footballer.
No, listen, Foden is one of the best English talents I've seen in my 30 years. He's a quality player. If he was ever crazy enough to sign for Arsenal or leave City, get that done tomorrow, especially if we're going to bid for Madueke. He should be a key player for country. I'm just simply saying, I think Foden is up here for talent, but if he plays games of this level, people wax lyrical about that. When it's other players, the goalposts move. He's the only world-class, generational talent judged to mediocre standards. I stand on that. He's a quality player.
He gets more protection than Mikel Arteta, ain't you, DG? That's what
him and Mikel Arteta are in the same boat. Same boat, DJB. Same boat.
You're not capping, but bro,
He's like the Mikel Arteta of the football world.
You're not
Fair
capping.
play. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
You're not capping. You're right in what you're saying, but bro, don't boy it, innit? Don't boy it.
Anyway,
man. Oh man, it's all entertainment. Don't take us seriously, people. I don't know how we've been here for close to 3 hours, but I'm gonna let the lads get out of this.
You got to blame the host for it, because the host lost control of his own show when he tried to gaslight me about Bukayo Saka, like he did on
show,
the.
man.
You said that stuff.
You were trolling me about Bukayo Saka.
What you're saying is mental. What you're saying
you shouldn't have been in debate, man.
Can we just all agree that we want Saka to stay fit and Saka to do madness next season?
1,000,000%.
Play further up.
Saka, no Django.
Yeah,
play him further up. Get him in the final third. Get him on the ball.
20 goals, 15 assists. I think that's what he's going to get next season.
It's been a mad show, man.
It's been a mad show. Before I let you lot get out of here, apart from Kenny, well, Kenny can tell you where his Instagrams are. You, man, SB and DJB, where can people find you? You should be seeing links in the chat.
The Arsenal Huddle, relatively new channel. Come along, check it out. We're doing some good, doing what we're trying to do.
Don't listen to LSD. Never listen to SLD. Don't listen to him. He tells big whoppers.
It's all opinions, my friend. It's all opinions,
and that's all it is, man. At the end of the day,
DJB, man. My thing is, obviously, I'm one half of the catch up. Big up Catch every time.
Come on, shout out Catch.
Shout out Catch, man. We got a YouTube channel. I don't know if DG's posted the link to the channel, but
my mods have been continuously posting.
Whoever's modding, I know I see KJ in the chat or someone who's there. Subscribe to the channel. We ain't loaded yet. We're still waiting to drop some content. We're just trying to do a couple things behind the scene, but you might catch us on DG's channel, Fam Zone. Big up all the man them. Big up DJB. Big up Kenny Ken. Big up DG for having me every time, bro. It's lovely.
It's been good. It's the first time I've shared a screen with this guy, and it's been enjoyable. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, DJB. Man, listen, we need to get you on the catch up, man. You know your stuff, man. You're my guy, Kenny Ken. Every single time.
Yeah, we're around.
You know the thing about it is that, you know what, the great thing about our show on a Wednesday is the fact we're all together and we're all having a good laugh. But you know what, the chat has been brilliant.
We got the chat as well.
Big up the chat.
If it wasn't for the chat, this show wouldn't be what it is.
Oh wait, what you saying? You don't rate Kenny? You don't rate DG? No, you don't rate me and.
No, I do rate DG.
DG too. He's all right until he goes on about the Foden.
It's just here for the chat. Chat, he's not rating.
At least it's not my Martinelli comments.
No. What I'm saying is that.
You'll kill me.
What I'm trying to say is that the chat they dictate where we go with the show, because they really, really get into it, and that's what I love about.
No, big up
I love about at the end of the day, listen, no one's going to agree with everyone.
Run up the
no one's going to agree with everyone, and this is what I mean.
To all the mandems channels, man.
And it's only football at the end of the day. Like, really, I feel on social media everything's like exaggerated, but you just have a difference of opinion. I've never been a fan of the whole personal and all that bullshit.
It's just everyone's got a difference of opinion. That's what it is.
Exactly.
I do think, before we go, I think that one of us has got a blind spot about Martinelli, and I think it goes from one extreme to the other. Either it's me who wants him out, or either it's you guys, SB and DG, who think that he should be at the football club. Someone's got a blind spot here, and someone's got because we can't both be right.
I just know I happen to like Martinelli as a footballer, and Jurgen Klopp said he's a generational talent. How can I argue with Jurgen Klopp? How? I can't.
Jurgen Klopp is one of the greatest managers.
He might have been drunk when he said that, but he said it.
Jurgen Klopp's a goat, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll see, but
But no, subscribe. Big up the man, man.
Big up, guys. Big up, everyone.
Big up, guys.
Come on, so you know where to find the lads. I'm sure you lot agreed and disagreed with everything we said. And we're out.
Check it out, my guys.
Come on, check the description. Everyone's channels are in there and whatnot. In a bit, lads.
And in a bit, chat. Man. Hey, chat.
Come on.
Guys.
I love
next week.
Love DJ.
4 p.m.
Yeah, love, man. Check it out.
I'll see you next week. Who knows? We might get Gyokeres. I struggle to pronounce his name. Is it
What did you say, Kenny?
Is his name Gyokeres or Gyokeres? Chat, help
No,
me.
I just say Gyokeres.
Tell you
To
what,
be
if
honest,
he's
I don't
banging
know.
in the goals, mate, I'm going to call him all sorts.
Block 9.
Victor.
Gyokeres, man. But yeah, man, I'm
Catch you
taking
later,
up too much of these lads' time. We're out.
Laters.
Love.
Right.
Big up.
You always just go, when like,